The following is a UTV 44 sports production.
Friday night rivals. This is the UA Early College UTV 44 Game of the Week. Sponsored by Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
Going back for the last 10 years, the Spanish Fort Toros are 59-7 right here on the hill. And tonight, they come in leading the region unbeaten at 4-0, taking on the Blount Leopards, who come in with a record of 4-2, losing 2 of their last 3, but they only have 1 loss in the region. And a win by the Leopards tonight would turn this region totally upside down. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox, my partners Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett here in a big matchup. We've seen Blount a lot this year on TV. 2 of the last 3 weeks not played up to Blount's standards, I would say, but they know tonight is a chance really to right the season for them.
Well, last year the same region had 3 teams tied at number 1. So if Blount were to get a win tonight, you could see that same sort of scenario happening. They're a talented team. They just got to, stop beating themselves, Vic.
Absolutely. Just stop, the self-inflicted wounds.
So looking at the Spanish Fort team, we saw them against Daphne in week 2. They've continued to play well since then, and they've done it on the ground with a player who we really saw emerge for this team last year back in the playoffs.
Yeah, Connor Hagan kind of embodies this team in a way, doesn't he? He's a good athlete, but, man, he plays hard, and he runs hard, and he's starting to pile up some really good statistics, too. You see him right here against Daphne. His ability to run the ball allows them to really go into the deeper into the offense and try to do some things on the outside, and we'll talk more about that.
And I think that's going to be the success for Spanish Fort tonight if they have it, is running the football. We saw that against Daphne, how they were able to win that game down the stretch. Now, for this Blount team, playmakers on both sides of the ball, Vic, but they've really got one guy that they like to key on both sides of the ball. They don't do a lot of two-way playing, but they do have a guy who does it.
Well, a guy like Kyle Cass with his talent, you got to play him on both sides of the ball. And ironically, I've never seen a linebacker that plays wide receiver as well, but there he is there coming off the end. They like to specialize using him in that area because they've got another end on the other side, Cortland Martin, and so you got to pick your poison. So that gives them a great advantage on defense to play him in that role. And he does PAT, he does punts. He plays wide receiver. This guy does it all for this team. He's one of the catalysts that's going to have to step up if they're going to have a good success tonight.
Little Birdie told us might even see him running the ball out of the backfield a little bit tonight as well. So we'll find out. 9 state championships between these 2 programs, 5 for the Leopards and 4 for the Toros. But it's a big region game tonight here on the hills. Spanish Fort and Blount. Kickoff comes up right after this. An electric atmosphere, as always, here tonight in Spanish Fort. And let's go down to the field and welcome in the other part of our broadcast crew, Tara, down on the sidelines.
Of course it's electric, Jim. Blount and Spanish Fort are always chock full of talent, and that's why we love covering them. Now, the past 2 years, they've split, winning a game apiece. Last year, it was Spanish Fort's 6 turnovers that cost them the game. The year before that, they won on a field goal by Matthew Quinn as time expired. Now, I spoke with Coach Blackman, and he reiterated the importance that turnovers, field possession, and special teams, specifically Matthew Quinn, will play in tonight's matchup. And we've witnessed Matthew Quinn prove himself at Daphne when he hit that 50-yard field goal, as well as the game-winning field goal on the last play of the game. So will we see history repeat itself here tonight?
Yeah, Matthew Quinn, as a big NFL guy, he's actually going to try out for the Buccaneers tomorrow with Nick Folk, all the trouble. So he may not be playing for the Toros next week if he becomes the Buccaneers' new kicker. He's good enough to be that guy. We've been watching that young man kick since he was in 8th grade, and of course he hit the big field goal here to beat Blount 41-38. And Lev Holly talked to us before the game. That one was fresh in his memory still when we were watching Matt Quint warm up down to our left.
He was staring at Quinn, watching him kick it, and told us the exact yardage on the kick itself. So Lev doesn't miss much, and he doesn't forget much either.
Well, those losses leave a bitter taste in those coaches' mouths, and it's tough to get it out.
And in all seriousness, he also said to his team, he said, we can't let this game come down to a last-second field goal from Spanish Fort, because that's how much respect he has for Matt Quinn, the kicker.
He said this cannot come down to a kick, and he told his team that. So we'll see if they oblige.
we'll see this Blount Leopard team. As we said, they've lost 2 of their last 3. They're in the middle of playing 3 straight on the road. You know, they lost last week to McGill, and you say, all right, that's a game. They're playing a 7A region, 7A team, non-region game. They've stepped up, get that one. Beat a BC Rain team that's winless on the year, but then really got beat here on UTV 44, 42-14 at the hands of Saraland. All that said, they're 3-1 in the region. If they win tonight's game, suddenly they're 4-1 in the region. You got Spanish Fort 4-1 in the region. You got Daphne with 1 region loss. It could totally, this is what will determine, this game is how their season plays out, I think.
Yeah, now how the region plays out, Jim.
Yes.
I think it's what you're pointing toward. So all eyes in the region are on this game tonight, because this is going to help sort out a lot of things.
And Vic, you being a guy who played at Alabama, knows this very well. But one thing Lev Holly was talking about is he said, you know, you see the expectations at Spanish Fort. All they've done is win recently with state championships in 2010, 12, 13, and 15. And he said, so all these kids, he said, you know, when they won in 10, those kids were in middle school, and they keep going through. He said, they just expect to win, whether or not the talent is as high as it's been in some years or it's lower. Spanish Fort just expects to win every time they come out on the field.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, football is, I would say, even up to the point of about 75-80% mental. And if you've got a mental mindset of the expectation to win, then you're going to do what it takes to win. And your expectation is at some point, somehow, some way, we're going to come out on top in this football game. And, hey, like you're saying, they built a little dynasty over here, and it's a young high school, but the expectation is already inbred and in the fiber, in the molecules to win.
4 state champions.
Yep.
You know?
4 and 5 years.
Yeah, 4 and 5 years on the football field alone.
Yep.
Let's not even get into the rest of the
baseball, everything else. Yeah. So Matty Ice, Matt Quinn will kick off for the Toros.
Nice kid.
We talked to him before the game, and he was. We're going to have whistles. I think we'll have an offside against Spanish Fort on the opening kickoff. But Lev Holly was even saying, he said, you know, these kids, they'll find a way to make a play. Talking about Spanish Fort, they'll find a way to make a play when it happens. He said, my team here in my 3rd year, he said, our guys have to find a way to match them making plays tonight.
Absolutely.
Match that intensity, too.
Absolutely. There's Coach Holly there. He's building him something over there and got a foundation at Blount, and he looks and has high expectations there as well.
Yep, they won the region last year. And as we said, 3rd straight road game for the Blount Leopards. And you know, when we had Cortland Martin, Vic's almost adopted son, you know, as much as he loves the young man.
I'd love to have what he's going to have in the future, for sure.
We had him on the pregame show, and he said, going to Spanish Fort, he said, it's like going to a college game. He was really complimentary of the atmosphere. He said, we can't hear our defensive calls on the field.
Yeah, and he played in that game as a freshman the last time they were here.
Yep. High kick and a fair catch called for at the 21-yard line as Eric Williams drifted back to take it for the Blount Leopards offense. 25 points a game, led by Jacoby Davis, quarterback who was banged up a little bit earlier this year, but back at it up front. Bonner, Brown, Jarius Bush, who joined us in the pregame show a couple weeks ago, Hunt, and McCovery. On the outside, LeBaron Jones. Now keep an eye on him. He's going to wear actually number 83 tonight. Jamarcus Poe Malden, and also Collins Woods and Kyle Cass. We will see him all over the field tonight. And Trajan Pugh, who's our player of the week last week in the loss, had 129 yards, I believe, last week, will be the running back. And Jacoby Davis, trouble with the snap. He's going to have to keep it himself. Looking for a holding call. You can hear the Spanish Fort coaches, but no need as they drop all the way back at the 14-yard line.
Feist a little bunch and then come out that way.
And here's the Spanish Fort defense. Cooks, Fitzgerald, and Myers up front. Tyson, Hoover, Nolan, and Duff. And Destin Myers moved from linebacker up to defensive end. Had a sack in Daphne when the first time he started that position. DJ James, he's going to match up against Collins Woods, we'd expect all night tonight. He is back in that secondary. And Tara's going to have a little more information on him and maybe a college coach who is very much excited at DJ James' play.
Smitten, would you say?
As of late. Now they throw it out to the near side, and boy, really didn't have that one set up well. Trajan Pugh looked like there was some. They had Kyle Cass back there, and it looked like the
Yeah, it looked like some confusion there on what the play exactly is. Kyle Cass looked like he was expecting a reverse, and he pitched it to Pugh, and they even had some conversation prior to pre-snap.
Lev Holly also said, we got to be better on first down. They lose 8 on first down, so they're behind the chains now in 3rd and 15. Kyle Cass up at the slot, handed off on the far side. Jamarcus Poe Malden, and nowhere to go. There's the Toros. Clogged that thing up from the get-go, and it'll be a 3 and out. Sam Hoover, the linebacker, one of the first ones in there, along with Ryan Duff, his other linebacker teammate there to make the stop in the Toro defense. Stingy to start that one. And Steve Savarese, look at the big crowd here tonight. Hurricane coming, high school football live on TV, packed stands on both sides.
It's all right.
People love to see high school football, and they don't stay home. They come and support their teams, but all the other people who don't have a chance or weren't coming to the game, they're watching it tonight. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, you're working on that letter for Tuesday, right?
Kyle Cass. He's got my cell phone number. He's got my email address. Anytime he wants to talk about why we don't have playoff games.
He's going to come down on you pretty hard.
Anytime Steve Savarese wants to talk about why he won't put playoff games live on TV, I'm available for coffee. I'm just saying.
You just have to catch him in the Gulf, huh, Dan?
I'd cancel a trip. Kyle Cass to punt. High looping snap. Cass with a great kick. However, it'll bounce at midfield. The Toros will let it bounce and down at the 41-yard line.
There's not much Cass doesn't do.
Boy, he looks the part too. Watching him warm up, he's got 6'3", 200 pounds. He's got everything. So now we'll see the Spanish Fort offense coming in 34 points a game. Jack Samsel, the senior quarterback, 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the year.
Talk about looking the part. Big, strong kid at quarterback.
Connor Hagan lines up in the backfield. Keep your eye on number 1, Chris Abrams-Drain as well. He's lined up to the bottom of your screen. Motion to the near side, but they go to Hagan, and Hagan stopped by Cortland Martin. Martin, who is our guest in the pregame show, comes in, and a loss of 2 on first down as the Leopards defense under defensive coordinator Lee Smith with a big stop there.
Spanish Fort feels like they're starting to find their offensive identity. We saw them in that game against Gaffney where they had no luck until the ejection of one of the top defensive linemen in the state.
There's Ben Blackman at Spanish Fort. He's also had stops at Gulf Shores and Greenville. And boy, he loves being here at Spanish Fort. He's really found himself a home. Out to the near side, Adams-Drain with the reception and slips a tackle at the 40 and brought down up at the 44-yard line as Charles Mickles brings him down from behind. And they're going to try to get the ball to Adams-Drain any way they can. Take a look at the Spanish Fort offense. Betts, Wilson, Tuberville making his 19th straight start for the Toros up front. Hunter Freeman and Nathan Brown on the right side. Sotelo, Corson, Swan, big good-looking receiver at 6'4", 206 pounds. Abrams-Drain and also Finn Heath. We'll see some other receivers rotate in there as well. Dayton Reeder, number 8. They'll get him in the backfield sometimes. They'll get him the ball. And 3rd and 8 here for the Toros. Play clock down to 2 at 1, and they barely get it off. And Samson will roll out to the right side and come back to the near side. Adams-Drain with a first down, and it's a long injury attorney's first down up to the 45-yard line of the Leopards.
Yeah, Josh Norwood made a really good play there, because otherwise, if he didn't fight off that block and really grab that tailback, he's probably still running there.
Yeah, they had something on that one. They had the numbers, and Norwood with maybe a touchdown-saving tackle.
Martin, Dumas, Green, and Mickles up front for the Leopards. That's the strength of their defense. Linebackers Cass, Lindsey, and Johnson, and they're good on the corners as well as Hagan falls down after taking that reception. We saw that 3rd down completion to Chris Abrams-Drain, just a sophomore. You'll see him lined up to the outside. They'll put him in the slot. He'll play some quarterback tonight. He quarterbacked this team against the win against Robertsdale, threw a couple of touchdowns. And we talk about somebody who looks good.
Yeah.
Coaches all raving about this young sophomore here at Spanish Fort.
Coaches on both sides.
2nd and 11. Samsel completing 59% of his passes this year. 564 yards. Again, going to have to hurry. Play clock at 2 and at 1. And he barely gets it off, and they give it off. Hagan to the 41-yard line.
Jim and Vic, I really think that's going to be a key is the offensive line in Hagan, because if they're able to sustain some sort of running attack where they can, get 4 or 5 on first down, have your options on how to get the ball to the outside to some of those receivers, including Drain. If they can run it, that's bad news for Blount.
You think the runs to set up the pass?
Yes, sir.
Pitch it on the inside, and Hagan's going to have the first down. How about that design of that play right there, Vic Lockett?
Yeah, they had them fooled right there. Instead of pitching it out or doing the veer out there, they did the little shovel pass underneath. Called all the defenders out wide, so the middle was wide open.
I think that was Corson Swan. Might have ended up taking it on a long injury attorney's first down. Let's see. Yeah, they brought Corson Swan up from the top of the screen. A little underhanded pitch for the first down.
Good hands.
2 third-down conversions here for the Toros on this drive. And now it's Hagan again to the 17, and that's going to be another long injury attorney's first down. And the Toros got it going here.
Vic, I think that's job 1 for Blount.
Stopping the run.
Got to stop the run.
Yeah,
But it looks like they're having trouble with their fits here early, and probably, if I know Spanish Fort, they're probably showing themselves some things they hadn't seen on film.
I'm sure.
Empty backfield here. Abrams drained to the top of the screen. Looking that way as Samsel fires a bullet into the end zone for a touchdown, Toros.
Wow, had him ISO'd over there by himself, had quads to the other side of the field. I mean, Coach Blackman just unloading the playbook. I think he understands the magnitude of winning this football game.
No doubt he does, and this team's getting better, and we didn't see this sort of stuff in the Daphne game at all.
And I would imagine his thinking is, if we can get on top of these guys, maybe they'll start slumping their head and pointing fingers at each other. So I bet it was important for them to get this first score.
Quinn with the point after, and the Toros on their first possession march it down the field. And they take the lead 7-0. Samsel with his 6th touchdown catch of the year and the throw in the year, and the 3rd one for Abrams Drain, and the sophomore puts the Toros on top 7-0. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Quijas, and our entire UTV 44 crew for our game of the week. Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. 8 plays, 59 yards, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Chris Abrams Drain with a touchdown reception from Samsel. And big 2 third down. It was one thing that Led Holly was saying for us. He said, we got to get off the field. Got to get our defense off the field on 3rd down. And they got 2. The first one was a long conversion, and the second one hurt him as well.
Yep. Exactly.
Quinn with a high kick to the near side. Trajan Pugh at the 20, and Pugh up the middle of the field. And you saw a little gap opening there. Quickly closed down by the Toros, but Trajan Pugh gets up to the 32-yard line. Busy night tonight. McGill, Tulin, and Bryant. You see Fruitdale and Marengo last night. Fairhope and Baker out in West Mobile. That's a big matchup. That's a Baker team that needs a region win badly, and Fairhope playing great. Davidson has given up 25 points all year. Did for Fred Riley and crew. Murphy and Foley tonight. Foley jumped out early in that one. Carolina Gulf Shores, Daphne and BC Rain. Jackson and St. Paul's, big 5A battle there. Baldwin County and Robertsdale tonight as well. Poe Malden in motion. Jacoby Davis on the left side trying to turn the corner, and he's going to be hit and drug down back at the 30-yard line for a loss. Just could never cut it back up to the inside, and again, first down troubles.
Well, I thought he had a lane early, but he decided to go really wide with it. Like, he should have cut it up much earlier than when he did, and he just doesn't look like he's running 100% to me. Something's bothering him there.
Peyton Tyson with the tackle there, and we apologize. These Toro numbers are
And by the way,
very hard to.
Tyson had an outstanding
Yep.
game in the game against Daphne.
You're right.
And that's a kid, I found out later, I mean, he's right out of the cafeteria. He was not even playing football till the fall. This is his senior year.
6'2", 195.
He's a rugby player.
Pressure, nothing doing, as trying to go right up the middle, and Montage Cooks with a stop there. Just a sophomore at 5'11", 270.
Yeah, he looks every bit of it. Right here, the back sees him, and he is, whoa, I want to get away from this big guy, but the turf gets him as well.
Yeah, we saw some players slipping in pregame warm-ups, running their routes right in the middle of the field.
Yep.
And saw Trajan trying to change directions there, and nothing doing. Now 3rd and 15. Davis has time over the middle, fires it. He's got Kyle Cass at the 40, trying to stretch it out. He's going to be 2 yards short of the first down.
Nothing's wrong with Jacoby Davis's arm.
No, there's not.
Oh, my.
The Spanish Fort coaches that we were standing around before the game when Blount was warming up was talking about Jacoby Davis and how far he can throw it down the field, and how when he needs to fit it into a tight window like that, he can do it. And Cass little punt, pressure coming. Cass gets it off. Fair catch called for back at the 21-yard line. And 4.5 to go. Here is Jeremiah Hickson. Fair caught that one at the 22-yard line.
Beautiful night for football.
Yeah, and you know, there was no wind pregame, and now we'll see a little bit of wind pick it up. We'll take a timeout here. 4:26 to go in the opening quarter. Spanish Fort has the lead, and they have the football as well. Coming back to the hill right after this. Spanish Sports student body section all decked out in black here tonight. I was mentioning right before the break how pregame, even at kickoff, not a puff of air moving, and now we start to see the flag move a bit here on the hill. Of course, with Nate headed our way.
Well, my hair doesn't move much, you know.
Samsel with the give on the near side, and this is Hickson trying to turn the corner.
Nice job on that jet sweep. I mean, he cut it up the alley right where he should. He got a nice gain on this play, too. Look at it right here.
Long and long injury attorneys first down.
Sweep, simple. They just got the defensive end walled off, and then he finds that alley and goes through it.
5th carry of the year for Hickson. 5 carries, 121 yards now on the season. That's a pretty good average. Giving a good job by Blount. Nowhere to go is Portland Martin in there. What a delight he was on the pregame show, huh?
Yeah, he's a man right there, and he's only a junior, but he's been on this field since he was a freshman. And
they really like him too.
Man, they should.
Hey, the kid running out of the game too tonight. He's catching my eye, Charles Nichols, the last couple of weeks. He's playing really good ball too.
2nd and 8 for the Toros. Dumps it out of the backfield, and Abrams Drain stays on his feet. He's got a first down and more across the 40. They may not catch him. Drain inside the 10, slows down and goes to the 4 before he's knocked out.
Boy, you better know where he is.
Boy, you guys were talking about the field's a little slippery, but it looks like Spanish Fort knows where the drop spots are, because this is a cut all the way back against the grain, and he had no problem with his footing, did he?
I thought he looked like he actually slowed down as the defenders were coming here.
Yep. I think he was just kind of measuring it, because
trying to see if he could make it there and defeat the angle.
Right.
Long and long injury attorneys, 1st and goal here for the Toros. Hagan in the backfield with Samson, and he'll take the give and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Good job right up front there by the Leopards to stop that one coming in. Kendricks Lindsay, the linebacker, to make the tackle.
This team's got to be unified down here. I'm talking about Blount. They have got to make, they've got to make them bring in the kicker and get 3. You don't want to give up 7 here.
Especially being the visitor in this house.
2nd and goal. Dayton Reeder in the backfield. They'll give it off to Hickson as he comes around from the receiver, and he's pushed back to the middle of the field, and then a late flag. I think that's going to be maybe roughing the quarterback. Yeah, but
I didn't see it.
Was he? But was it almost? He hadn't dropped back to pass like it was. He still considered a runner after when he was
hands
handed
it
off.
off?
Let's see
Let's
here,
watch it.
he's.
Let's watch how late it is. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, when you're running that veer, though, like you said, you never know if he keeps it or not. So
Well,
it wasn't too egregious there. I think that one could have slid.
yeah,
It's everybody's live out there. I'm sorry.
yeah, but things have changed in the tenor of
but
protecting the
I agree
quarterback.
with you
Jimbo
when he's
Perez.
passing, but not when
Personal
you run that
foul
veer.
on the defense. Replay second down.
Wow.
Penalties has the distance to the goal.
I mean, I think he got to call that because the ball was so far out of his hands. It was so obvious that he didn't have it, and you have a defenseless player just standing there. I mean,
Well, I mean, he could have had it hit by his thigh, and you never know it. I mean, I don't think he led with his head on that. He went there and pushed him with his hands, so I'm good with that.
yeah, I just think that they
But when he's just dropping back the pass here, you protect him. But as you just
It'll stay second
running
and goal.
that veer.
Sampson will keep it this time. He gets in for the score.
it's just a different day, Vic.
it is.
So after the long run by Chris Abrams drained, Toros on top 13-0 early here. And Quinn on. Luke DeWeese, the holder, and Corson Swan, the long snapper. Get a flag before. It's against Blount.
Spanish Fort coaches are saying we'll take it on the kickoff.
Didn't think you could
Dead
do
ball.
that on an extra point.
Encroachment against the defense. Penalties refused.
I think on the extra point you can take and apply it there. They were trying, and Jimbo Perez was not doing it. No, that's not going to happen, said Jimbo. First game we've had Jimbo as a referee, I think, this year.
I think it is, yeah.
Well, we were supposed to have him a couple of times, I think, or at least once in a year, but I think he's a new grandpa, and he had a late arrival, so he had to go over there and referee that with his daughter.
I got you.
And
So congratulations to him on that.
Matt Quinn makes it 14-0. It is a tough place to come play up on the hill, and the Toros have jumped out to the early 2-touchdown lead, and we'll see if the Leopards can match Spanish Fort's big plays here late in the first quarter. So, sorry we missed the kickoff there. Blount gets it out to the 36-yard line. Not sure what happened
We're
there.
going to get Jimbo to hold the horse's tail, the big horses show back up.
Yeah.
And that's the spotlight of UTV 44.
Yeah, usually the officials wait for our Red Hat to come off the field. Red Hat is actually still out on the field. Come on, Jimbo. It's not first time having a TV game in here.
You know,
I know, maybe let's get home and see the new grandbaby.
Not his first rodeo, huh?
Before the hurricane.
hands on the grandkid.
Now they go to Trajan Pugh to the 43-yard line. First time Blount's had a solid gain on
yards.
first down.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Pugh was so good last week. He got the player of the week vote in a losing effort.
yep.
Yeah. But this defense last week played a lot better against McGill than they're playing tonight against Spanish Fort. So if it's going to be a shootout, you don't like Blount's chances. They've got to slow this thing down and make some plays in the running game. And again, you got to get something on first down, which they finally did.
Pick up 5. Davis fires on the far side, and it goes through the hands of Jamarcus Poe-Malden.
Didn't look that one in and had some good green in front of him, but just didn't look the ball in.
Yeah, he could have turned the corner and picked up some yards there. 6 plays, 78 yards on our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. Less than 2 minutes after the big, long 45-yard run by Abrams drain. And 3rd and 5.
It's like Pugh got in there and said, hey, let's go line up.
Davis has time, looks over the middle of the field, fires, and he's got that one complete. Collins Woods with a catch, and it's going to be a long injury attorney's first down for the Blount Leopards, their first one here
Nice,
tonight.
clean pocket for him. He had time to survey the field, find Collins Wood, one of the great wide receivers he's got, and he just puts it on his number right there.
Collins Woods is committed to University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Down a few Ivy League schools to do that.
Collins Woods, it's become a little tradition. Every time we do a Blount game, comes and finds you and I, Dan, before the game and shakes our hand.
Every time. It's always good to see him.
Yep.
So he's a good politician as well.
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
We'll hear from his dad, Jerome Woods, later tonight in the broadcast, the principal at Blount.
I love tackling him.
Trajan Pugh to the 43-yard line. It's a big drive here for Blount.
It's a big drive, and the Spanish Fort defense, they had to reload a lot of players on defense. They had some talent on this defensive line last year. This group is grittier. Well, I won't say they're grittier, but they've got to play with grit, and they're doing more magic tricks on the defensive line than just, standing their linemen up and letting their linebackers make the play.
Pitch it off to Pugh, trying to get the edge. And that's shut down. And third and about 5 coming up. Collins Woods up to the top of the screen. Poe Malden there as well.
Big third down.
Yep.
Early in the game.
Looking to the outside, they get it off to Woods. And Woods breaks a tackle inside the 35 down to the 28-yard line.
I tell you, the Leopards need to check their length of their cleats because they are really having some trouble out there stumbling around.
A long injury attorney's first down. Collins Woods. Be nice to see him have a big game here on TV, unless you're a Spanish Fort fan, of course. But Collins Woods, a really exciting athlete here on the Gulf Coast to watch. Had 1,000 yards as a receiver last year as a junior. Deepest the Leopards have been tonight. Pugh. The middle lunges ahead. He'll get 3, and that'll bring the first quarter to a close. So Blount driving now. And they'll have it second down coming up at the Toro 27-yard line. And we come back for the second quarter. Spanish Fort and Blount 6A Region 1 matchup tonight here in our UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. Ready to start the second quarter here at Spanish Fort. The Blount Leopards driving. They trail 14-0, second and 6 from the Toro 27. Jacoby Davis looks to set up the screen, gets it off Trajan Pugh. Slips one tackle, and he's going to be a yard short of the first down. So third and short coming up here for the Leopards. Pugh, 5'9", 175-pound senior.
And nice job by Spanish Fort just figuring that out. Seeing the linemen, letting them by easy and staying in their zones and saying, oh, it's a screen. Find that back, grab a hold of him. I've even held him before the ball gets there.
Third and 2. I think 2-down territory here for the Leopards. And Jacoby Davis turns the corner on the left side and back inside to the 12 for a long injury attorney's first down for the Blount Leopards. There was no indecisiveness about what Jacoby was doing on that one.
Yeah, Alonzo sent that play in because he was like, we got to have this one. So just take it around the end. Let's do no deception, just outrun him.
But you got to get that block on the edge.
Absolutely.
It goes nowhere.
Absolutely.
Davis, the senior quarterback, played safety last year with Kadarius Toney, who A.J. Wright, wide receiver, former here at Blount.
He's up at Alabama A&M, but he's down on the field tonight.
He said Kadarius watching the game, streaming this one online tonight. So hello to Kadarius. Now looking for the fade pattern to the corner. Lots of hand contact, and that'll be pass interference back there as
it's got to be.
Collins Woods had the height advantage, and draws the flag, and you see Collinswood says there was some talking going on there in the corner of the end zone as well.
Well, he's a smart guy, so he knows what it looks like and what it feels like. So.
Davis hung this one up there a long time, and
so after the pass was not to him, he just started lobbying for it immediately.
so the penalty. Let's listen to Jimbo Perez here.
Defensive pass interference. Half the distance to the goal remains first down.
No, they're not hoping to get some points right here. They got to get some points right
here.
here.
They need it, yes.
Long and long. Injury attorneys first down thanks to the penalty here for the Leopards, and Jimbo Perez had nowhere to. He was talking to the other officials there. I think he was trying to get the sticks corrected. DJ James matching up against Collinswood. Tara's got an interesting story about DJ James that we'll try to get with you here after the.
He's got a very famous Valentine,
and it comes every day, like every day. We'll get that from.
First down and 4 from the Leopards 6-yard line.
Okay, so it's not first and goal. It's first and 4 from the 6, so they can get a first down to the 2. They go Wildcat with Pugh in a big hole on the right side. And wow, it was big, and then it quickly closed down.
I'm still trying to figure out why after the PA it wasn't first and goal.
So it was first down. It was still first down, but it was first and 4 from the 6.
And they're inside the 10.
They're inside the 5 now.
So I'm no mathematician, but usually.
So no, I think it was at the 12.
And it happened in the end zone. I mean, I'm surprised it's not even on the goal.
But I think the line of scrimmage was the 12, and so it was half the distance. To the 6.
We got more
penalties on Spanish Fort.
Another personal foul, it looks like.
So they couldn't go first and goal because it's a half the distance, a 15-yard penalty from the 12, so you only get 6.
I tell you what, I'm going to have a conversation with P. Ryan after this game. I'm going to say, hey, if we're going to invite you to the party, you can't be complicating matters.
There he is. Perez, you mean?
Good ball. Personal foul on Spanish Fort. Half the distance to the goal. The penalty makes the line to gain. First and goal.
There you go, Vic Lockett. Now it's first and goal. Are you happy? Jimbo was listening down there.
Well, the penalty automatically should make it down there first.
Well, now it has.
Either of those penalties.
I see what Vic's saying.
All right, hey, it's a long and long personal injury attorney's first and goal. And Trajan Pugh on the right side. And, oh, wow. It looked like if he bounces that to the outside, he would
win the race, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was good edge set out there, but he should have the ability to outrun that guy, you would have thought.
Tried to cut it back to the inside, and Xavier Love made the stop.
I'm concerned now players are playing plays instead of being athletes, Jim. Can't do that. Win football games.
Second and goal here for the Leopards. We're 2 minutes into the second quarter. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline. Jared Quijas in the truck. Again, out of the Wildcat, and this time Trajan Pugh takes it in for a Leopard touchdown.
Yeah, on that play, and just the same thing on the outside. They're trying to turn that defensive end out and get into that 8 hole out there, and it works perfectly with executed right here. They got that end man turned out, so he wants him to go under the tackle rather than outside.
How about that drive that Blount needed? Otherwise, this game could have gotten away from him very quickly.
Well, let's not even think about it.
I'll tell you, if they still got to tighten up on defense, or it still could be a long way from completely competitive. They're going to have to slow down Spanish Fort.
Cast to hold Kenneth Williams for the PAT. And he's got it. And it's spurred, but they got a flag and a procedure penalty against the Leopards. So we'll take that seventh point off the board here. And Blunt's going to have to try and re-kick it from 5 yards back.
And we'll hold right here and See if they're successful on the re-kick, huh?
Well, Liv Holly will tell you that these things are too
Legal motion from the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, retry the point.
they're too adventurous to do them wrong. Because
you're not assured of them, right?
You're not assured of them. And now even
the
5
guy
yards.
from Tampa Bay could show up all of a sudden, huh?
Well,
Take a pay cut and come here. Huh?
I wonder where he is this morning.
Well,
he's not sleeping too well. He probably was up all night.
Yeah. I hope the Florida license plates aren't screwed on too tight on Nick Folk's car after that. As Williams will try again, this one from the 15, so a 25-yard PAT. High snap, Cass got it down, and Williams gets that one through. So now it's...
Well, we got another couple of flags. Hold it right there. Hold the band up.
And Jimbo Perez, the PAT is going to be good. Jimbo Perez was motioning over toward the Spanish Fort bench. We'll find out what it was. We'll sort it out after this, but it's 14-7 in the second here on UTV 44. Now the Leopard band happy, 14-7. So after it was a dead ball foul after the kick, a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty against the Leopards. That'll be backed off on the kickoff here. Our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary: 12 plays, 63 yards, 4 minutes 40 seconds for Pewhead to score.
And you can't have that, though. You can't have the personal foul, the dead ball foul, and now you change the field position all over again.
And then Jimbo Perez dropped a penalty flag over on the Spanish Fort sideline. He didn't announce it, but I'm guessing that's a sideline warning. They had the coaches, a lot of them out on the field. I'm guessing that's what that was.
Okay.
Because they didn't mark it off. But the kickoff goes all the way back to the 25 now.
Nor did he announce it, so you're definitely guessing.
Well, but they haven't.
T. Leaves has told Jim.
Cass kicks this one off to the 30. Hickson with it, and he tries to cut up the middle of the field, slips down, but now up the middle and more to the 45-yard line, and very good field position for the Toros here.
That's what the 15-yarder after you got the point costs you right there. You just got to be disciplined.
Rest of the games tonight: Citronelle, Wilcox Central, big one up at Pritchard Stadium. Williamson and Biger, UMS leading 7-0 at the end of the first half against Faith Academy. Thomasville and Andalusia, Monroe County, W.S. Neal, and Bayside taking on Hillcrest Evergreen tonight. Mobile Christian hosting Flomanton. Millry and McIntosh, Sweetwater and Linden, Chickasaw and Washington County tonight. XL and T.R. Miller rounding out a very busy Friday night per usual here on week number 7 of the high school football season. Come the Toros with good field position. Samson fakes the pitch, looking down the middle of the field for Adams Drayton. Now instead he comes to Hickson, who's got it inside the 10.
Easy little pass there with the fake. They thought it was going to be a pitch. Cortland Martin didn't own it, which he's supposed to up front there, but this kid running that post route out there is just wide open. Quarterback stands tall and delivers, right?
They had two guys, one running a post at a different level. They were both open.
Yeah.
One high, one low.
Abrams
He
Drain
picked the high.
was a little more shallow, and Hickson with his 4th catch of the year. And the senior has a long injury attorney's 1st and goal situation for the Toros. Hagan walks in untouched for the touchdown. 2 plays.
That's too easy there. Way too easy there.
2 plays, 45 yards.
The Leopards have got to get off the bus, or it's going to get bad really quick.
Man,
that was just, what you say, 2 plays, and they're in the end zone.
Yeah. So you see how Spanish Fort answers back after the long drive. They come up, dial up a deep pass, and Quinn now will kick this one.
But Dan, you said it. They've got to find a way to play some defense.
Yeah, it's not going to much matter what they do on offense if they can't slow this team down at all.
DeWeese with the hold, and it's good. And the Toros make it 21-7 here on the hill. Quick scoring drive, and get ready to send it down to Tara momentarily. She's got Jerome Woods down there, so we'll talk to Jerome momentarily. He may not be too happy about what he just saw from his Leopard defense on that one, but The Toros answer right back and now have a 21-7 lead. Let's get our educator spotlight, and Torres down there with Jerome Woods. Tara.
Thank you so much. As you said, I'm with Jerome Woods, the proud principal of the Blount Leopards and also proud father of stud Leopard athlete Collins Woods. But first, let's talk about the Scholarship Academy at Blount.
Okay, yes, Signature Academy.
I'm sorry, Signature Academy.
Healthcare Access Program, one of the best programs in the state. We do healthcare at Blount. We certify kids before they graduate in 3 different ways: CNAs, phlebotomists, or EMTs. It's the best way to make our kids college and career ready, and we're doing a great job at it right now.
And then let's also talk about the athletic success that the Leopards have had. And then I also understand you want to give a shout out.
Oh man, we're super proud of our kids, our student athletes graduating and going to the next level. Kadarius Toney at Florida, so many kids. Wilson Bell at Auburn, Reggie Todd at Mississippi State, and the list goes on and on. Kids at South Carolina, kids at Jacksonville State. Want to give a big shout out to KT. I know he's watching right now. We're a little bit behind right now, but we're going to get it together.
You still have a whole half and more. Thank you so much, Jerome.
Thank you.
Jerome Woods, one of the shining stars in the Mobile County Public School system as a principal out there at Blount. And, you know, Coastal Alabama Community College with our educator spotlight there with Jerome Woods, Tara talking to him, and Reggie Todd on campus this week. He was on the Blount Leopard campus, so good to see him and the rest of the Leopards that are busy on Saturdays and a lot busy on Sundays in the NFL as well. So now Leopards need to respawn down 21-7.
Procedure, but a little bit more on Jerome Woods, a product of the Mobile community, played at Murphy, played quarterback there, and then went on to Tulane University. Didn't spend a lot of
Dead
time.
ball. False start on the offense. Remains first down.
P. Ryan interrupts me there.
P-Rez. Your Ryans and your Reds is mixed up.
Yeah. And Jerome spent a lot of time, I know, in New Orleans in the school system, and we had to call him back home and say, hey, come back over here and help our kids as well. He did a good job out of it. Yeah, good man as well.
Great things up at Blount. We only see what they do on Friday nights, but another one here against the Leopards. We only see what Blount does on Friday nights on the football field, but so much about the Signature Academy out there and just everything that's going on out of that beautiful new campus out at Blount. Always goes out of his way to make us feel welcome on Friday nights when we head out there.
Encroachment on the defense.
Wow, he's got a Spanish
Remains first down.
A little early jump.
Get it back to a 1st and 10.
Got some talent on the outside. Let's see if they can use it.
Looking to go that way. Up top, looking for LeBaron Jones, and there's contact and no flag as DJ James was there.
I think DJ played that very, very well. Got his head around, looking for the football, and he was just in position. The receiver really didn't have a chance other than going over his back or through it.
James, who had 6
play right here.
He had 6 interceptions last year. LeBaron Jones over there. Second and 10. Looking to set up the screen again. This one floated dangerously high. And now a flag, and Pugh breaks the tackle, and he's still on his feet.
They're probably going to get the lineman downfield, but how long that ball, as you pointed out, floated in the air.
Yeah.
But he had to set it up that way.
Boy, that's how you get a receiver or a running back coming out of the backfield hurt as well with a big hit, and that's what happened to Pugh, but he broke the tackle. But as Vic said, it's going to be a lineman downfield.
The old Nick Saban rule.
Does he get credit for everything, Lockett?
And when it goes negative, yeah, he does. But he's got the rings to back it up, so you know, he's
an
not
eligible
even
receiver downfield by the offense. Remains second down.
Processes the noise out.
He was the one complaining about teams doing that to him.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
And he brought attention to the fact that the linemen were downfield. A lot of these spread teams, that's a signature play.
Sure. And then the next year he got hit with a ton of them.
2nd and 15. Jacoby Davis with lots of time now. He'll air this one out. Looking for Collins Woods and can't hold on to it.
Good defensive play, good offensive play. Both receiver and defensive back just battling for the football. I tell you what, Davis can really sling that football. He can sling the football.
Yeah, this one was 60 yards in the air, if not more. So 3rd and 15. Back at the 15.
How about some sort of draw here? Wow.
They changed their mind. Yeah, after that pass, they're like, we need to use that gun.
We're watching these corners make plays without any safety help.
Against some very talented receivers.
LeBaron Jones and Collins Woods, guys that scare a lot of defenses.
So now back to the 20 as we get ready to start this one. So 3rd and 20, all the way back to the 10. Davis looks right side, fires it, broken up, and it would have been well short of the first down.
I am then impressed with these cornerbacks how they're playing them. I mean, they're like on these islands and said, hey, come on, bring it here. The island's open for you to come in.
DJ James with the stop on that one. Let's go to Tara. She's got some great scoop on what's been going on with DJ James lately.
I sure do, Jim. We can already tell just from the first quarter of this game what a stellar athlete DJ James is. And other college coaches are taking notice. Of course, Dabo Sweeney at Clemson, and then our very own Nick Saban at the University of Alabama. DJ went to the first game, Clemson, Auburn, and then also went to the Alabama-Ole Miss game. He's got multiple SEC offers, including Florida and Ole Miss. Interesting nugget, though, DJ is receiving letters almost every day from Clemson, including Dabo himself.
Jeremiah Hickson inside the 5, and he's in for the touchdown.
Wow, what an effort by that young man. And the special teams being special. Got a lot of good blocks.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
And then to finish it off, he stayed on his feet, stayed within the bounds, and hopped over would-be tackles and in the end zone.
Stayed inbounds inside the 5.
I'll tell you what, Tara was chronicling DJ James, but they got him all over the field, looks like.
Hickson, watch right here at the end of the play.
Put the brakes on.
Oh. And Spanish Fort.
Showing why they are Spanish Fort.
That guy did about everything you can do in one run.
And he's had, we've seen him. He caught the big pass on the last drive.
Yeah.
Now a flag in the end zone here. Blount had 12 on the field.
Yeah, you got to have the right amount of personnel, but
Illegal substitution on the offense is declined.
The way Spanish Fort's playing, I don't know if they put 14 out there, they'll stop them.
And
defensively.
Toros about to make this a 3-touchdown lead here with just 8.5 to go.
Yeah, right now Spanish Fort looks like they have really gone in and worked on what they need to work on to make themselves better since we've last seen them. What do you think?
We talked about it in the pregame show with Ben Blackman before the Daphne game. We were on the field, Dan, and he said, if we can win here tonight, we're a young team. If we can win here tonight, it might really set us up for October, November, and then, hopefully maybe into all the way to December. But he was right. He was looking at the crystal ball, and boy, he's got to be liking what he's seeing.
Well, he knew what he thought he could get out of this team, but that was best case, right?
Yeah.
So those games in between the big Daphne game and this game, Hornets challenging, and he saw his team play well, gain confidence. Then they get the week off. They look like they're pretty tied together right now.
Clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Here's our trivia. Spanish Fort has not lost a region game at home, should say, since 2014. You have to go all the way back to 2014. Who was the last team within the region to beat Spanish Fort here at home?
That group up north.
You know what? The regions may have been different at that time.
Well, noodle that one through and bring it back to you in the fourth quarter. And a high kick, Matthew Quinn sends LeBaron Jones all the way back into the end zone.
So after it was pre-realignment, you'll say, huh?
Well, he's just saying that's a possibility. He's not saying for sure. All right, so there's a lot of football left to be played here. I mean, we're only 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. But Blount's got to answer back like they did 2 drives ago. But the bigger thing, this Blount Leopard defense, they've given up 28 points here in 15 minutes of football.
Yeah, I mean, they were giving up an average of 17 a game. They looked good against McGill last week. For some reason, not ready for the task tonight. And they're going to have to figure some things out at halftime. But before that, they've got 8.5 to go in this second period.
And they'll start at the 20. Davis with time again. That one overthrown.
All right, so it looks like they want to get it in chunks, judging from the play call right there. Alonzo going with it. But, you said it earlier. This Spanish Fort group looks like they went back and worked on themselves, fundamentals and things of that nature.
And
they cleaned up their game to be prepared for opponents.
And they were off last week, and that's exactly what Ben Blackman said during our pregame show. I know you don't get to hear it because you're up here with us, but he said fundamentally that's what we've just been working on, fundamentals. And
it shows tonight.
Yeah, good gain of 6 on first down by the Leopards there. And
because we're used to seeing a Spanish Fort group come out and do really good execution.
Yep.
And I didn't say that I didn't see much of that early, but I can just tell where they look tonight. They're crisp, they're ready to play, they're executing the plays that are called, and then they look like they're doing some different things than what they normally do.
That's what Blount's saying, too.
that was on second down, so this will be 3rd and 4.
Well, they're out there on the field, and they see it as well.
And this one, I think the Leopards going to get a first down here. I think the Toros going to be guilty of encroachment here. So
dead ball, encroachment on the defense. Penalty makes the line to gain. First down.
So that's a long injury attorney's first down for the Leopards, and they needed that, if nothing else, just to breathe a little bit.
They need to pick up some of the unfortunates from the other team. Not necessarily themselves always making it.
Davis is up. Collins Woods with the catch on first down, and he'll pick up 6. Not going to get it all back. Not going to get 21 points here at one time, so you got to get some positive feelings back.
But they'd like to, get down the field and possibly get a score real quick, and then maybe get a stop, and then come back out and get another score.
Get a stop.
Yeah, it's rare, but that's what they'd like.
Yeah, that's
right now it looks like wishful thinking, but that's what's got to happen.
Mission impossible so far.
Their one score tonight was a 12-play drive, and Trajan Pugh.
I like that.
Pick up 3 here, now third
like
one.
31. Near midfield, you might go for it twice. Establish something on the ground just for a mental toughness. Have some sort of mental toughness standard where you're just not chucking around the yard, hoping somebody makes something spectacular happen.
Well, last week, in the loss, I was going to say Lonzo Johnson, I think, called one of his better games because he did incorporate the run a whole lot more than we used to see.
Toros stack the box, and Davis on the right side. He's going to get the first down up to the 44, and that's a long injury attorney's first down. And
tell you what, Collins Woods don't mind going out there throwing a block. That was a Hines Wood crack. Hines Ward
on the edge, and we talked about that. They've got to match the intensity that Spanish Fort inherently brings to a game. Those last 2 plays, they did it.
It's indicative of what's got to happen.
It's got to happen. Can't be magic.
Up to the 44. Kobe Davis down the middle of the field, and Jamarcus Pro-Malden can't hold on to that one. Boy, if he's got that one in stride, he might still be going.
That's a big-time pass there. I don't know if some of the guys on the other level would have caught that one. It was a little hot, too.
It was hot. It was just by him. And it was 20 yards downfield, and he didn't have time to adjust on the ball. He whistled that one.
There's no doubt about it. Kid's got a gun right there. say that too loud. We're over here in Hall Smack area, right?
I gotta tell you, but you gave up your first down, though. That's one thing right there.
2nd and 10. Now a little bubble screen out to Collins Woods. And pushes it all the way up to the 49, and 3rd and manageable coming up now. And you're starting to see a little rhythm again here on this offense for the Leopards.
Nice job by big Kobe McCorvey downfield, big right tackle, positive block.
I think he's got to be a guy, Collins Woods, from an emotional standpoint, a leadership standpoint, to get this ship righted in this game here tonight. And you got to get the ball in his hands to do that.
Yeah, you do. You have to have the complementary players throw in some blocks so these guys have got a chance to make something happen.
Greatest team sport ever.
And there it is, 1st down, Collins Woods, and long injury attorneys, 1st down for Collins Woods. And this part of the Spanish Fort defense, the way they play, kind of that bend don't break, like they'll give you the big ones and they'll try to force you to just chip it down the field all night.
Well, you know, so far we hadn't seen this Blount team bend them much at all, so still remains to be seen that they're still having to play that type of ball.
Davis zips it out to Trajan Pugh and tried to cut it back in the slippery part of the field. And
to me, it's over about the numbers is where it's wet, or is it the middle of the field?
In the pregame, they were slipping in the middle of the field. Is where we saw it. And it wasn't just Blount; it was both teams. We saw a Spanish Fort receiver go down as well. So that's a loss of 2 on 1st down. And
you can call that play all day long, but you got to block it.
Absolutely.
And
team sport.
He gets faced with 2 Spanish Fort defenders as soon as he catches the ball.
Doesn't matter who you are catching out of the backfield there.
That play's done.
Davis, middle of the field, he throws it wide open to Cass, and he threw Cass open for the touchdown, 47 yards.
Oh, man.
That's a big dime pass, isn't it, Dan?
Man, it's about as big time as we could ever see.
2 defenders there, and he threw Cass open.
I like how you put that. Yeah, he threw him open because he was covered.
That's right. And
they expect you to do that on the 3rd level and on Sunday, not just on the next level.
Cass puts a little heat on it here as he breaks free. Wow, that's a great.
That's the kid that plays linebacker, does PATs and punts. Catching that ball.
We're playing some H-back tonight.
And Williams, wow, what a drive, what a play by Blount, exactly what they needed. And Kyle Cass, highlighted him in the pregame show, and Jacoby Davis, maybe the best pass we've seen all season on a Friday night.
I don't think we've seen anything better this year. And he got our attention the very first game of the year against Viger with a rope he threw for a 15-yard touchdown.
Yep. And dueling with Jack West that night.
Yep, and just, we stop and watch him in warm-ups because it's just kind of fun.
Right.
I mean, it's Spanish Fort as well.
And now you see, so now you're thinking, okay, maybe Alonso's got a little something.
Yeah, he does. That's what I wanted to say. That whole series there, his play selection was on target. That means picking up where he left off last week, even though it was a loss. I really like the play selection he's doing here and how they methodically went down the field there.
Well, you call the plays, but Vic, you know this.
Execution.
Execution.
Yeah, you got to execute.
And the execution is in the details. And the details, when you see a guy get a quick screen or flare-out pass, and there's two defenders ready to take him down, the execution wasn't there.
Yeah, sure.
So
but I got to credit Spanish Fort, too, in their preparation. Yeah. They're usually ready for stuff. They've got keys that they're keying on to let them know what's about to come.
Now a 12-play and a 9-play scoring drive you saw there by Mobile Regional Airport, our scoring summary for the Leopards. And now Toros will have it at the 35, and this Blount defense needs to get a big stop here. And Fusaklis feeds our crew before the game. Sometimes even the announcers sneak down there and get a little.
Yeah, even the lightweights were down there kind of grazing a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to make a dent in the thing.
You could pick up a party tray of 100 or a sack of 20, or you're like Lockett, get 300 for a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday evening game kickoff tomorrow.
That's right. They also have the best lemonade in town, and you can order your trays for any football party or just a party. And you know what, though? Don't drop one. Like there's somebody down. Somebody on the crew had a bad fumble today, but most importantly, don't take the foo out of football. We thank them for feeding everyone who gets here and works so hard all throughout the day to bring you these broadcasts here on UTV 44.
The big one you mentioned, they called the big sackling. And they're very proud of that one.
Jeff Bridges starred in that movie, didn't? No, different movie. It was a different movie. Different movie. My mistake there. So inside 4 minutes, the Toros. Here on 2nd and 6. Abrams drain. Isolated to the top of the screen. Reeder comes in motion. And they give it on the inside and huge hole. Hagan all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's what you talk about execution right there, huh, Dan? They come back with that shovel pass, and just when Blount thinks they got something going, cutting off the edges, go underneath them there up the gut.
Well, that's Corson Swan. Second time we've seen him do that tonight. A long injury attorney's first down.
Big athlete, 6'3", 200 pounds with the ball in his hands.
Dan, another one of those young men who looks the part when he's out there warming up before the game.
Yes, he does.
I do think I would switch the personnel on that, though, in terms of running that play. You put one at little 25 running that play, he's gone.
Don't think they don't have it.
Yeah, sure.
And the Leopards defensively take a timeout here. And this is something that Lev Holly talked about on the pregame show, was just saying that, the staff that Ben Blackman has over here, and what they bring every Friday night to the games, it's really a challenge to get ready to play the Spanish Fort Toro team. I want to tell you about our friends that bring you high school football every Friday night here on UTV 44, including the University of Alabama Early College. They're our presenting sponsor every Friday night here on UTV 44.
Roll Tide, you're expecting that, huh, Jim? I'll give you one. You got to give me one back.
It's right there for you, Big Clock. I have to stay right down the middle here. I just got to stay.
All right. Well, while you stand in the middle, I'm going to bring up Derek Turner. He turned 50. He's a big Spanish Fort fan. He comes to all the games, and even when we do the game, he DVRs it and checks us out on Saturday night.
He's checking the team out.
He loves the broadcast. Plus, his son plays out there, Derek Turner Jr., number 78, big lineman.
1st and 10 from the 36. Samsel
comes that tunnel screen
underneath and complete up to the 30-yard line. And Dayton Reeder with his first catch tonight. We've seen him run the ball a few times on the sweeps, but Reeder, 5'11"
Blount comes up there and says, enough of this stuff.
That was quite an end to that play.
Came up with some force on that.
Pickup of 5. Inside, Hagan with a big hole, and he's got a first down, still on his feet. Norwood finally brings him down at the 10.
Good no whistle, because he definitely wasn't down, even though it looks like it.
Long injury attorney's first down here for the Toros, and this Leopard defense has no answer for this Toro offense tonight.
Well, they got them on their heels. Look at those two down linemen there, on the double team, just cleaning up something in the middle, and just holes for those backs. And it continues.
Hagan again in for the touchdown, 11-yard run.
The difference in the line play up front, we were talking about it before the game. You don't go up there and make a statement by trying to wall somebody off. You go up there and you block down and you bring your feet and you drive your feet. That's what they're doing. They're creating holes.
Yeah, and it just makes a difference in the tone of the whole game.
Absolutely.
And you know better than anybody, the tone on the field, it's loud and it's dominating.
Speaks volumes.
And it takes a lot out of a team. The Blount Leopard defense right now.
Matthew Quinn is taking aim right at our photographer up there as the Toros add on to the lead. It's 35-13, and there's 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, they needed to stop, but they didn't get it.
Here on the hill. Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves in the sideline, Jared Quijas in the truck. And we talked about in the open, we said, since once Spanish Fort kind of got established and played football for a few years, since 2007, 59-7 here at home. And this one goes into the end zone. And, you know, that we talked about Matt Quinn, and we've seen the big kicks he's made, but sometimes overlooked when you have a kicker, and especially in high school, can drill it into the end zone every time. And
every time.
Make you start at the 20.
That's a weapon.
Yeah. I mean, it just...
Advantage.
And now if you're Blount, I don't know if you abandon the run game, but you
I don't think you can abandon the run game, because if you do and you go 3 and out, there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, and Spanish Fort is getting it right back. So consider that.
And their execution has been flawless, huh?
Offensively. But it should be able to run it.
Davis wants to go up top on the right side and looking for Jamarcus Poe-Malden, who can't come down with it. And DJ James over there, and you're right, Dan. I mean, you know, James, you can see why he's being recruited all over. He's just 5 plays, 65 yards, and just a minute and a half for the Toros in the Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. But he's just out there, cover corner on an island, one-on-one.
Well, you had the little JV cheerleaders up here selling 50-50 tickets, and we've seen a lot of 50-50 on the field.
Yep.
Those 50-50 balls, Blount has a chance to make plays a lot of times.
Yep. 2nd and 10. Look out to the far side, and this is Jamarcus Poe-Malden. A good ankle tackle there, reaching down to get him to stop him and bring up 3rd down. And now 2:23 go down. Suddenly you're Spanish Fort. You start thinking, like just like you said, Dan. Got a couple minutes left. We got 3 timeouts.
They haven't even slowed the Toros down, let alone stopped them. And Toros on that play and on every play really doing a good job of fighting off blocks.
3rd and 7. With Aaron Jones to the bottom of the screen. Looking that way is Davis, and that one high and incomplete.
I'll tell you another thing that Spanish Fort does really well and very consistently is their linemen get their hands up. If they're not going to get to the Blount quarterback, they're going to make it tougher on the throw.
And that makes a difference.
I think it made the difference on that one.
Wow. Lineman downfield. You don't see that on a ball that gets out that quickly.
You should never see that. Not on that play.
Double
because he's backing up from the stance.
So it was illegal lineman downfield?
Yeah, 3.
Unless the tight end was covered up and he released.
That could be.
That could happen.
Yep.
So a 3 and out and an incomplete on 3rd down.
But it's still, no matter what it was, again,
an error.
Indictment on execution.
Yeah.
Pass to kick, and Jeremiah Hickson, who's taken one back for a touchdown tonight. Look at that. Hickson with a fair catch at the 45-yard line. So the Toros with 3 timeouts and good field position. And I'll tell you about more of our friends bringing you high school football each and every Friday night. They also bring you the first down. Like, if it weren't for our friends, we wouldn't have any first downs. Yep. How can we do it?
They won't exist.
And I love these guys here.
Yeah.
We got to have those guys.
Fusackley's.
You're talking about Eden. Hey, yes.
Bringing our game. We've had that before the game, and
I'm all in.
Lockett eats it all the time, and long injury attorneys. Do you know where your attorney is? They're local. They live here. The kids go to school with your kids. Long proud to be a part of high school football here on Friday night. And our first down sponsor, and glad to have them. You saw the big crowd right below us here, and boy, we love coming to Spanish Fort. I mean, this roomy press box set up for TV. It's a great setup.
And usually they set up a nice spread for us as well.
Yeah, so a timeout called for by Blount.
But it's that thing you said last time up here. That's why we're not getting that.
Yeah, we used to get fried fish and everything else. And
no, I'm only kidding.
I was about to say, let me get on my knees and start apologizing now.
Yeah, so take a look at Spanish Fort. You saw, what they had to start the year. Daphne, McGill, and Daphne, and they go 1-2 there. Then they reel off the wins and open last week, got Blount, then they go to Foley, and then in 2 weeks, I don't want to say what our flex game is going to be here on UTV 44, but in 2 weeks we're going to be in Saraland to do the Spanish Fort and Saraland game here, and then BC Raymond and LaFleur. Yeah, I mean, so it sets up. You know, Ben Blackman, you know, he told us too, Dan, in the he said, we're a different team than you saw us in week 2. And
I'll agree with him.
Yeah, there they are at the top of the region, 4-0, and you can see. We said if Blount could get a win here tonight, then suddenly you have Saraland, Blount, and Spanish Fort all with just one loss, along with Daphne in the region. But the way things are going tonight, it looks like
not
you're going to
looking so at this point.
Yeah, so Spanish Fort with a chance to really solidify the region championship in 2 weeks if everything goes as expected.
Got a quick little nugget for you to tell you how much things can change in a year right after this play.
From the 46, Samsel, and that one knocked down. Good job.
Nice.
Getting the hands up to.
A year ago, not only did Blount win this game, they shut out Spanish Fort.
25-0.
Tonight, Spanish Fort having their way against a Blount defense that, you know, coming in, we thought was pretty good.
Dan had just talked about Spanish Fort's linemen, their linemen getting their hands up. Good job there by Overstreet, not knowing he wasn't going to get to the quarterback,
right.
But still able to make a play.
Yeah. Almost made a big play.
Mm-hmm.
Samson looks to the middle of the field, able to get that one. Corson Swan has it, and Swan has a first down all the way to the 31-yard line, a long and long injury attorney's first down.
Boy, that's a good catch and run by Swan there, and finishing the run at the end.
Don't know where they find these kids.
They just put it in their head that, hey, you're not going to get on the field unless you give every effort till the whistle blows.
Spanish Fort still with all 3 timeouts, as you see there.
And they've got the numbers where they could do the weeding out like that.
Samson with all kinds of time, looking to the end zone and just overthrew that one. There's a flag at the 10, and maybe a little defensive holding there, maybe?
Contact. There's usually the area back that deep where they're going to call some type of foul, impeding these receivers.
Wait for Jimbo Perez.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of airtime, causing us to miss a little bit of it as well.
Welcome to the Jimbo Perez Variety Show.
Yeah, I'm going to have a conversation with him. We need to call Mom on him.
Prior to the pass, we had defensive holding, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Penalty made the line of gain, first down.
So a long injury attorney's first down for the Toros via the penalty. And the Toros with it at the 20. And they get the ball back to start the second half, too. Swan sets up to the near side, and Samson will roll that way. Samson has time and dumps it off, able to get it complete inside the 10 and knocked out of bounds the 5-yard line. The flag back at the backside of Swanson.
Nice job by this quarterback, just to remain patient, get away from the rush, find his man right there, and let him pick up some positive yards.
That was Ben Sotelo, his 4th catch of the year. It's going to be a roughing the passer on Blount as well.
Tack on the yardage. Huh?
Yeah, kind of saw it right at the end of our replay there, and Samson wasn't really expecting that. He was still looking downfield.
And Dan, I was going to say, you know, they got the ball with 1:49. Are they going to try to get a field goal or a touchdown? What are they going to get?
You tell me.
It looks like a touchdown.
Still a minute 13 to go.
Yeah.
A little frustration there maybe on the part of the Leopard defense. So roughing the passer. It's 1st and goal. Another long injury attorney's first down. They had the first down without the penalty, but it now just puts it inside the 5, and they'll go out of the Wildcat and comes to Abrams Drain, and Drain will go in untouched for the score.
I mean, did they even look at him hard? The defense?
They didn't get to him.
They didn't look at him hard. He just waltzed into the end zone unimpeded, untouched, uncontested.
The sophomore with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and he is going to be something special here for the next few years in Spanish Fort.
You know, Spanish Fort has done some things that trick Blount, moving their eyes in the wrong direction. That wasn't the case right there.
Let's just turn around and hand it to the guy, and he walks around the end.
You know, it was a Wildcat. It was power to the right. We're going to block you.
All your keys say going to the right.
Yep.
And Matthew Quinn Makes it 42-14 with a minute to go in the second quarter. And I'm just not sure anyone saw Spanish Fort putting 42 on Blount here in the first half tonight.
Probably not, especially after what we saw early in the season, and especially when you consider the fact that a year ago in 8 Mile, Spanish Fort got 0 points against Blount's defense. But it's a new day, it's a new year, and it's certainly a better Spanish Fort offense than we saw in game 1 against Daphne when they had to scratch and claw for anything and everything they got.
Yeah, this Blount team, looks like they got cobwebs in and just really hadn't got off the bus to play. And, sometimes teams can just get in a funk after a couple of losses.
Yeah.
It look like they're in a funk here.
Boy, here right at the end of the half, Fort plays 54 yards and just 41 seconds off the clock.
I mean, they're doing whatever they want to do in any way they want to do it.
Special teams and offense. All they're looking for now is a defensive stop.
Quinn puts that one into the end zone yet again, so the Leopards will come out at the 20. Now, we saw last week, we saw the Leopards bring in the freshman Melvin Williams at quarterback for a couple of series against McGill. And
we were kind of dumbfounded by that. I don't know if necessarily tonight the quarterback's been the issue.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this hasn't been. I was going to say this has not been a Jacoby Davis issue for the Leopards here tonight.
Yeah, and I don't think it really was that much
a difference that tight either.
Last week either.
In fact, he's been kind of a shining light in terms of most of his deliveries.
I would agree. Give it off to Trajan Pugh on the right side, and Pugh will pick up 9 on first down. I think if you're Blount right now,
not abandoning the run, just kind of playing his game, I guess. Is he trying to get away on into the halftime? See if they can coach him up and make some adjustments.
You're thinking, boy, we'd like to get some points on the board, but also we'd like to get out of here the half before anything else bad.
This has been a half of running with the Bulls. They'd like to forget.
And the Bulls are
running over.
Winning, yes. Yeah. And Pugh pick up the first down to the 35-yard line. A long injury attorneys.
Blount still has 1 timeout left. Looks like they're content to just
they'll stop the clock.
Get out of here. They're stopping the clock just to kick the sticks, though, right?
Exactly. So we'll get them reset.
Well, Blount at halftime is nearly directly under us, and we may hear what comes out of that locker room.
Let's not have the mics on.
No.
I don't know if there's a few kids still watching as well.
There's going to be kids listening.
Yeah.
So Blount takes their timeout here with 20 seconds left.
So maybe they are trying to capitalize.
Well, yeah, maybe you say, hey, you got those big speedy receivers.
You got a big gun in Jacoby.
Yeah, maybe you try to go on take advantage of those big receivers, try to get something going. Again, you're thinking about, you think you got to kick off to start the second half as well.
Well, you're not going to have corners on an island at this point of the first half. I'll tell you that. They're going to have a lot of DBs.
Well, it really hadn't been necessary, so they may not change what they're doing. A lot of teams do go to that prevent and then start giving up chunks of yardage. But
I think they're in the prevent.
We'll see
now.
what they say.
Yeah,
see how they lined up.
Brennan Sharp. Brennan Sharp, as I was saying, was back there at safety, and he was on our pregame show. And his twin sister, the homecoming queen here at Spanish Fort this year.
Yeah.
Said you did not like the young men's chances that had to come through Brennan to ask for possibly to be the homecoming date. Davis hands it off, and it's Jamarcus Poe Malden out of the backfield. And look, he's got a big hole. And Jamarcus Poe Malden all the way inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Leopards.
That was a great effort out of that young man,
That's amazing.
He's not going to the halftime without getting Jim Cox to call his name.
65 yards. And it almost, without saying the obvious, but Spanish Fort looked like a little surprised, but then there were like 3 defenders right around him, and nobody went to him.
Yeah, he just kind of made a miss. That's why I said great effort by him. And, Dan, that's what happens to your prevent defense. You know?
Well,
you're back there deep, but this guy just runs in between them.
Well, and it helps when you can run away from him as well. Is Jamarcus Poe-Malden a speedster? Ooh, and we might hear Ben Blackman now in the locker room at halftime.
Well, that's something positive for Lev to build on there going into the half.
yeah, I think this conversation with Ben Blackman is going to be a whole lot different than it would have been without that play. He's going to be really...
And Tara gets to talk to him right here in just about 8 seconds. So
he's going to be smoking after that play.
Well, our girl Tara does a great job, so she will get what we need out of him. And he'll be respectable.
So he'll be respectful. He's just going to be very mad.
42-21. So, wow. What a big... Now you get a little energy going into the locker room at halftime. And so
and you know, and Coach Lev can say, hey, that's the kind of effort we got to have out of everybody, not just one guy on one play or two guys on one play. All 11 that's on the field, Dan.
And he might be just talking to the defense when he says it. That's really been the Achilles heel tonight.
More of our friends who bring you high school football every Friday. What a great scene it is here at UTV 44, our game of the week. Seen here at Spanish Fort, the Sheriff's Offices of Mobile and Baldwin County and the Drug Education Council.
Hall Smack area.
Yep, trying to help get everybody.
Doing a good job. Probably working overtime, preparing for the impending weather. So
that's right.
We really appreciate those guys.
Castle kicked this one off. Taken on the far side. And Toros up across the 40 and to the 45-yard line, and that'll bring the first half.
That kid got some moves there.
To a close. That's Finn Heath. Yeah, he's a starting wide receiver. 42-21, our score at the half. And let's go down to Tara momentarily. Now she has got head coach Ben Blackman. Tara.
Coach, last year you had 6 turnovers against this Blount team. Tonight, Samsel is nearly perfect in the passing game. What's been the difference for you offensively?
Well, he's executed well, and we've been able to get the ball in some playmakers' hands, and they've made some plays, and we've blocked really well up front on offense. You know, so they've been very efficient.
And you said that special teams were going to be key in tonight's matchup. Talk us through Hickson's punt return for a touchdown that really helped distance you from this Blount team going into the half.
Yeah, you know, he's dynamic back there, and we got some good blocks and got a good return. They gave us a chance, and, you know, he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. So.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, he's thinking about that last play because he's a little bit, you know, just kind of low-key, melatonin with this.
I think that it was the last play. It might have been a little bit his disagreement with the officials, where he may feel like he just needs to kind of calm down a little bit.
You guys know his personality.
Hey, our player of the game from last week, Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. It was the young man we've been watching here tonight, Trajan Pugh, and the Blount faithful voting him to a narrow victory over a couple of McGill-Tulane Yellow Jackets out there, but Pugh over 100 yards rushing against the 7A Yellow Jackets, and really he's been the one to fuel this offense most of the year when it's been going right for the Leopards.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's a workhorse for a guy that's not that big. There he comes out of the wild leopard, I guess you'd say. And,
still a cat, all in the cat family.
That's right. He knocks it in there for a touchdown last week.
All right, we'll have 3 players of the game for you to choose from tonight. Again, brought to you by Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. You'll be able to vote on our player of the game at UTV44.com. All you have to do is click on the sports section and the high school game of the week. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it'll be the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. Our first band out on the field will be the Blount Leopard Band. Lots of points here in the first half, 63 of them to be exact. And it's Blount trailing Spanish Fort 42-21. Halftime show comes up next. Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show here at Spanish Fort. It's been all Toros. A late Leopard touchdown cut the lead to 42-21. Let's go down and enjoy the Blount Leopard Band.
Mr. Jerry Perriman, Nebraska champion, WMC Samuel B. Pete, and we are out of here.
Show here at Spanish Fort. The Toros lead 42-21. Mobile Harley-Davidson halftime show. Let's go down now and enjoy the Spanish Fort Band.
Ladies and
Back here at Spanish Fort, it has been all Toros in the first half. 42-21, our halftime score here. And boy, you know, if you're the Blount Leopards, you got to try to take a little bit of momentum out of that last touchdown run you got there late in the first half, because that's really all you got right now.
Well, we'll see, because they just could not stop or even slow down Spanish Fort's offense, and Spanish Fort gets it first here in the second half.
All right, so just how, like, you're a defensive guy. We know Spanish Fort, you know, has been getting better each week, but I don't think anybody expected 42 in the first half on a Blount Leopard team.
Well, you know, you got to give credit to Spanish Fort. I bet they're doing some things that they hadn't done all year, and they come out and execute. So you just expect that out of this group, and they do really, really well doing that.
So you see Jeremiah Hickson here extended the lead as he took this punt back. Watch the great stop and go here at the end to get in for the end zone. So that added to the Spanish Fort lead. And then, boy, this is a great throw by Jacoby Davis, able to get Kyle Cass there to go in. And that was the second Leopard touchdown. And then out of the Wildcat right here, Chris Abrams drained with an easy touchdown. But then Blount just kind of trying to run out the clock here. Like, just wasn't real in a big hurry. 20 seconds left and 65 yards for Jamarcus Poe Malden. And that cut it to 42-21. Look at that, 303 yards of total offense in the first half.
8 penalties jumps out on the screen for me for Blount.
Yep. How about that, though? 303. That is something.
Yeah, 174 yards passing.
That's gaudy.
9 of 10 for Samsel. And there we see 28 points in the second quarter for the Toros. And let's go down on the field. Tara, she had a chance to catch up with Lev Holly as he was coming back out on the field. Tara.
I sure did it. Coach Holly said what you saw that first half is not what they're teaching their guys during practice. They're beating themselves, and for that, you're going to see some personnel changes here in the second half. They're ready to go out there and fight these next 24 minutes, hopefully walk away with a win here on the hill.
Yeah, Lev Holly had said before the game, you know, you really need to see where your team is at come week 7 or week 8 as a short kick is taken at the 28, and said if you have some special players, they need to show off their specialness at this time of the year, because this is when teams are really starting to, you're heading in one or two directions as you're starting to look at the last third of the season.
Ascending or descending. Looks like this Spanish Fort team is ascending.
They are.
And the Toros will start it at the 27. Jack Samsel, boy, we didn't talk a whole bunch about him in the first half, but 9 of 10 for a $174.
Yeah, we kind of missed that, didn't we? And everything that was going on, Samsel had an excellent first half. Very accurate. Tell you what, Ben Blackman, after that long, blunt run to end the half, could have eaten a shoulder pad at that point. He was just burning.
Dayton Reeder in the backfield, and he slips and puts his knee down as he takes that handoff. And
well, if Blackman could eat some shoulder pads, I would say Holly could definitely finish it off with a helmet.
Yeah, you're right. Both of them fit to be tied.
You know, and you know, Lev had told us before we were talking to him on the field. He said, "We had a really good week of practice." He said, "I
heard that."
Yeah, and he said, he said, "Hey, that's a very good team we're playing." He said, "But I expect our kids to come out and play well here tonight." And it's been a struggle thus far for the Blount Leopards. 2nd and 14.
That's much better there.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, when you saw kids miss assignments, that would be one thing. But when you saw a deflated defense, maybe lacking, you know, total effort, that was a little more alarming.
Now you got Jarius Bush, the center, and the other offensive lineman, Ray Hunt, both over on the defensive line now for the Blount Leopards. 3rd and 13. Sidney Collins there at linebacker. Play clock down to 10 as Samsel looks to the sideline. And
I have to take a timeout because it didn't look quite the way they drew it up. And this is what this team's about. Hey, they used to executing perfectly. Quarterback then see what he wants and decides, well, I'm going to just take a timeout. There again, it also goes back to accountability because he said he knows in his mind, if I don't get this right, I got to face Blackman. You talked a lot about that, Dan.
Yep, and you're right. Now, give Blount credit because they two good defensive plays, then force a timeout. So far, so good. Blount defense, half number
Stepping
2.
up.
Yeah, but what we saw early, especially early in that first half, couldn't get off the field on third down.
No, you're right.
So now 3rd and 13. Here's your chance to
get a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, and suddenly you get a quick score here early in the 3rd, and now you're down. Now it's a 2-touchdown game with a lot of football left.
Yeah, and this Blount offense had over 200 yards of
wait a minute, I thought it was
offense.
2 touchdowns. Oh yeah, it is probably 21 more points, right? I just can't do my math.
3rd and 13. Samsel from the shotgun. Looking right, pressure coming, gets away from Cortland Martin, and then Hunt is there to grab him low, and he'll get finished off up top. So Martin with the pressure, and then we talked about Hunt coming over from the offensive side and gets the stop and a 3 and out for the Leopard defense.
Well, that's what I heard. They're going to start playing a lot more two-way players here in this second half. You know, they probably feel a little more comfortable about doing that and not spending the players in the first half, exhausting them playing both ways. So, plus the region's on the line.
Yep.
I mean, if they lose this, I mean, they're deep in the hole, right? They're going to need a ton of help for some other
you have
people.
to have Spanish. Yeah, you're not going to win you're not going to lose this game tonight and win the region. That's just not going to happen.
I mean, mathematically, I stay away from that.
Ryan Duff, his first punt, I believe, here tonight. Trajan Pugh with a fair catch, and as Blount gets ready to take over on offense, let's go down to the sideline for another Educator Spotlight brought to you by Coastal Alabama Community College. Here's Tara.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm with Drew Powell and Chris McClintock. Now, Drew, you're the men's basketball coach and the golf coach here at Spanish Fort High School, but we're talking about a new program. It's a broadcasting program that they offer here at Spanish Fort.
Yes, the first year we've offered an athletic media class. It's a class that's really fun for our kids. I think they're learning a lot, getting to experience hands-on. Our high school's partnered with the National Federation of High Schools, and so we're able to live stream certain events, such as tonight's game. We have students manning the equipment, and so students and fans and friends all across the country can watch the Toros play. It's just a great research-based class, a lot of hands-on activity. We're actually able to come up and see you guys set up today, so we thank you for your hospitality. Jared was great for us, and just a really good program.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to Jared. And then, Chris, you designed the brand new Spanish Fort Toros logo. Talk about how you went in partnering with Spanish Fort and sort of the idea behind it.
I saw the opportunity to give an opportunity for my program to kind of get known by the Spanish Fort community. We have students from there come to our campus, and I saw a chance to get the talents that I have and really give something unique for Spanish Fort to represent their football program, give something that kind of embodies this community. So they wanted something simple, something aggressive, and I think that it was a great result, and Mr. Williamson and everybody's been real gracious to me, so it's been a great opportunity.
And you're also a teacher in Baldwin County.
Yes, we teach at North Baldwin Center for Technology.
Thank you so much, Chris and Drew. Back up to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Tara. 3rd and 8. Now we got to see if Blount can convert on 3rd and 8. They did a good job getting off the field on defense. Davis slips, rolls to the right, might be able to scramble for it, gets to the sidelines, and he'll step out of bounds. And where's the spot?
Right there. I don't know if he got across it, but it's right there.
Lev Holly thought he had it for sure.
Of course.
I mean, you're
not going to lobby for your own players. Who you going to lobby for?
They're going to mark him just short. Let's see here. Good job by Davis not to go down in the backfield here. He's looking at the stick the whole time.
I thought he got the line to make it right on it.
Yeah, 4th and less than a yard, and no hesitation here.
4 down territory already, Dano?
It looks like it is.
Yep, don't
Davis
mess around. Just
on the right side, and he's going to have the long injury attorney's first down.
Nice call, Lonzo.
Nice call. Good execution. Getting a hat on a hat. You're going to show some power to the right. Let a big, strong quarterback take it. Get the first down and get on with it. And that's, a lot of that is just attitude too. And you got to give it back because Spanish Fort will dish it out in large portions.
Right at midfield for the Leopards. Pugh slips out of the backfield and turns the corner on the right side, and Trajan Pugh will pick up 9 on first down.
That kid got some swirl, doesn't he?
He does. He's got moves within the moves.
He kind of had a little baby deer on the ice there in the backfield momentarily as well.
Bambi.
Squirrel, yeah. Well, they'll mark him out of bounds after a gain of 7, so 2nd and 3. But a 7-yard chunk on first down for the Leopards. Davis right back to Trajan Pugh, right up the middle inside the 30 and the 20. Cuts it back at the 10, 5. Touchdown, Blount Leopards.
Nice job by College Woods to not block him in the back.
43 yards for Trajan Pugh. And now 14 unanswered scored by the Blount Leopards.
Now watch him breaks free here after he does his little swirl again. I got to give Colin Woods his props here because he knew he could have right there popped him in the back. He comes down, jets it down, and says, Pugh's doing it on his own.
He's got that 4-point-something GPA.
There's a reason, right?
Football smarts, too.
Yeah, not just because his dad's the principal, huh?
No.
Kenneth Williams to bring this to a 2-touchdown score, and that's where we're at. 42-28. So
I don't remember Jerome being that smart. He's a good dude, but he's not that smart.
Trajan Pugh with a 43-yard touchdown, and the Leopards are within 2 scores here early in the 3rd on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. The Blount band a little more pep in their step right now, as well as their Leopards have put 2 unanswered touchdowns on the board to cut the lead to 42-28. High kick on the far side. Finn able to take this one, and Heath Finn out to the 41-yard line. Good field position for Spanish Fort.
Yeah,
and now you're saying it's important drive, I think, coming up here for Spanish Fort.
Well, that was an important tackle, too, because the middle wide open on that kick return.
Yeah, Petway did a good job there.
6 plays, 63 yards, 2 minutes and 7 seconds for the Leopards. Our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary.
Yeah, if Eric Petway doesn't make that play, he's still running, and there they go with their special teams' 2nd touchdown.
It looked like it, right?
It did.
Officially spotted at the 42 for Samsel and the Toros. Now empty backfield. Samsel looking right the whole time, spins out of pressure. Now he'll pull it down and try to get out to the left side, and he gets cut down by Mickles. Charles Mickles came up with a stop.
Now we're starting to see some of the defense we saw in the McGill game.
Actually, I think may not have been Mickles. It may have been Jamarcus Poe Malden now moving over to defense, who came and made that stop, Vic.
Well, I told you, they said they're going to start playing some folks both ways. They're trying to get the top 11 on the field and win this region, or at least compete for it.
2nd and 9, Samsel, far side, and he gets it to Chris Abrams-Drain, but he had fallen down right as he made the catch. That'll bring up 3rd down. Good-looking sophomore. You're going to hear a lot about that young man here in Toro games over the next couple of seasons. And he's played some quarterback. He led this team to a victory over Robertsdale. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up, if they keep him on the edge or maybe as a quarterback, playmaking quarterback.
We expected to see him a little bit at quarterback tonight. Hasn't happened yet.
3rd and 5. Samsel flips it back the far side. And diving.
Oh, he's going to be close.
Yeah, Lev Holly's right in his ear over there about that spot, and he's going to be just short as Corson Swan. It'll bring up 4th and less than a yard. You saw Blount go for it in almost this exact same spot.
Yep. But they're doing the chasing.
And it doesn't look like the Toros will send the punt team on. They've not started the play clock yet, as we're inside 6 minutes to go. Hickson.
Now, can you just feel Spanish Fort trying to draw him offside? Oh, no. Bad mistake by Spanish Fort. Rare mistake by them.
And Jimbo Perez tells us
confirmation.
About false start on the Toros, and 4th and 1 becomes 4th and 6. Well, you feel some momentum shifting in this game, and you see the player energy.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
I just think from a body language standpoint, you see the Leopards very engaged on that side of the football now.
Well, they got a nice dressing down underneath these stands here as I was passing through on the way to the men's room.
I had a feeling we could hear them. And again, now, Ollie's like saying, if you're not an all-star, you're not on the field.
Yep.
So he's got his best athletes out there.
Were you really hearing that? Because I mean, you must have.
Duff.
That's exactly what he said there.
A high kick, and Trajan Pugh gets away from it. Well, it rolls all the way back, and Trajan Pugh not very far away from it.
Yeah, he needs to move away there. That'll make Coach Holly a bit uneasy.
Look at the night so far for Trajan. 15 rushes, 85 yards, and a couple of touchdowns.
I didn't hear what he said, but just
you guys got minds alike. Let me just say that.
Looking at what we're seeing, though, in the second half with the guys going both ways, he's gonna go down with his best guys on the field.
I guess you're saying what else to say, huh? But that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Jacoby Davis, 11 of 19, 115 yards through the year. That one beautiful touchdown to Kyle Cass, and he's had a couple other ones that his receivers have not hauled in. Otherwise, his numbers would be even more impressive. Give it off to Trajan Pugh on the right side, and Trajan Pugh with a big hole across the 20. Watch out. Pugh across the 40. Pugh on his horse. 30, 20, 10, 93 yards for Trajan Pugh.
Unbelievable.
What a job by Pugh. What a job by Alonzo. I mean, we've seen that guy love to put it in the air, but he's maximizing his talent, and Pugh's one of his great talents.
Well, the line of scrimmage here in the second half, everything's changed. And look at the hole, and then look at the cut, and look at the speed.
And it was Hunt who made the key block on the offensive line, who had a key stop on the defensive side of the ball.
There you go. Only the All-Stars are on the field now.
It is a PAT away from being a one-touchdown game. 21 straight if this goes through. And just
Blount's
as I
not
say,
going to submit this region without a fight,
just as I say that, he misses the PAT. So 42-34, and you think about that PAT
that could
miss.
Be big.
So you think about that, and
that could be big. Coach Holly probably saying we don't want to put it in the hands of our kicker either. Or foot.
I think the kid did a pretty good job until right there. By the way, among our sponsors, Thyre Cadell Law Offices, personal injury, car accidents, and slip and fall accidents, Social Security, workers' comp, including shipyard injuries. They can take care of you. Thyre Cadell Law Offices. And thank you to Thyre Cadell for being a sponsor weekly on the UTV 44 high school game of the week.
I said about 4 minutes ago, I think you would feel a little momentum shift, and you were telling me to pump the brakes, and now
I think it has. You can take your foot off the brake now. It's wide open Leopard way. That was so many yards, I can't even count them. What did you say?
93.
Wow.
So that's now 200 100 and there's a lot of yards for Trajan here tonight.
85 before the
93. So that's 178 yards so far.
He's having a night, isn't he?
Short pooch kick to the 35-yard line.
Means nothing if they don't win, though, and that's the way he probably feels about it.
Hey, had a great chat at halftime with Bart Sessions, former McGill coach, former assistant coach, all down here on the Gulf Coast, and came up and saw us at halftime, and then just sent me a message regarding a kicker that wasn't very nice. Sometimes defensive coaches don't really like those kickers. He just sent me a message about kickers that wasn't very nice. But it was great to see Bart, who was one of our favorites when he was coaching down here on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator.
I bet he can give us some good analytics from this game.
Yeah. Take a look at Hegan, 9 rushes, 54 yards, and a couple of touchdowns tonight, and they need him to get going here in the second half. They floated to him out of the backfield, and he's going to be stopped after a short gain.
Nice tackle there by Sidney Collins, not letting him wrestle away from him.
Remember that sophomore had a great game last week against McGill.
He was the one?
Yes. And he comes up with a stop there after we'll give him 1.
Well, in the first half, I thought Blount was going to have to call Thyre Cadell because all the slipping and falling. They look better here.
2nd and 9, Samsel on a quarterback draw right up the middle. He's to the 40, 2-yard line, so 3rd and 3.
You tell me, Vic. This kid's not known as a runner. To me, that's probably something where he sees a certain formation and he's allowed to
maybe take away or run, take up the field, take off with it.
If he sees the middle of the field open, again now they're spreading this defense out a little bit.
Good safe down to do that too and keep them honest on defense.
3rd and a long 2. High snap, juggled and trying to get to the corner on the near side and not able to turn it because Kyle Cass and Sidney Collins were there able to shut things down. And now flags thrown against the Leopards for celebration afterwards.
I didn't think that was any ton going on. They were bouncing around from everyone.
Yeah.
Because that was a good play, and you know they're trying to maintain the momentum.
Wow,
Man,
let's hear what Jimbo says.
Gee whiz. Unless it was something that was said verbally, because
they certainly were on their own and celebrating.
And they
nothing ton or egregious at
but it makes me think maybe, Dan, because 2 officials threw flags, so
kids might be a little more loose with their words.
Reader trying to go, and Cass, nothing wrong there.
That ball, unsportsmanlike, on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. Penalty makes the line of the game first.
This team goes in for a touchdown. You better remember that play.
Yeah, but the other thing I do like about it is as soon as the flag went out, the Blount players kind of took accountability, looks like, and said, oh, no. They didn't say anything to the official, but they kind of looked as though, okay.
It had to be something verbal.
Yeah, because there was not, it was just, it's kind of some
nice jubilance.
Raw emotion after you just made a big stop on 3rd down there.
You don't get a 15-yard flag on hip, hip, hooray.
No.
I just know that much. Maybe 3 other words.
So, takes it from the 40 all the way up to the 45.
It's just a crusher because they're playing so well.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, got to play the next play.
Hickson comes in motion. They fake it to him, and Samsel looking now. He'll have to pull it down, and he's got some room, but Collins goes in and grabs him. Wow, shed the block and made the tackle, Vic Lockett.
And look at what green grass he had, my friend Jim. Had that play not been made by him.
He did. Yeah, Collins was it.
He had the pasture to himself. So Collins stepped it up last week and looks like he's doing it again this week. Let him fight off the block of a bigger man than him, go underneath him and make the play.
Yeah, got away from Hunter Freeman there. Only a gain of 2.
He had to make that play.
Samsel trying to give it off, and there's Collins again, the first one in there before he's finished off.
Bringing the numbers now, Vic.
They are. It's like a shark out there, Jim, smelling blood in the water.
Johnny Bonner also starts on the offensive line, now on the defensive line playing here, but it was Collins who made this play. Got knocked down, came up big, and held on.
Samsel had all the time he wanted in the first half of this game.
Not so now, huh?
No, he was 9 of 10, right? 9 of his first 10.
Just from Bart Sessions here watching the game did not like that penalty flag against the Leopards. Did not agree with that call. As Abrams drained up on the far side, he slips. They get it to him with some space, and he's going to be held on and now dropped all the way back at the 44-yard line.
Well, Blount's looking like Bama or Georgia, huh?
Let me tell you. Here's the thing. This is crazy. I'd be hard-pressed, Jim. I'd have to really think and scratch. Vic, you've been with us a long time, too. A team transforming itself from one that looked like Blount looked like in the first half to what we're seeing in the second half. I don't remember us seeing, we've seen blowouts, we've seen close games.
Yeah.
We've never seen one that was both.
This is...
Well, it may be just the key that I told you, getting the best 11 out there.
Oh, Trajan Pugh, did he touch that? Did he touch it?
No, I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
I thought he did.
No, I don't think he did.
He called for the fair catch.
Yeah, he may have missed it, but from our angle, it certainly looked like he touched it.
It looked like it almost went, he went to grab it like it went off his fingertips.
But he's saying this way, I think. I think Blount's going to retain possession.
He acted guilty because he chased it down.
Yes, that's another giveaway.
Right.
So now the officials are conferring. Let's see if our replay here.
Yeah, from this angle, we may be able to tell
He was
much better.
He was going to call for a fair catch. Then it bounced right at him.
See, I think it changed direction right there.
Yeah, you can't tell. But he didn't really go after it like as though it was a fumble. From that angle, it did not look like he touched it.
I thought I saw the ball kind of switch angles a little bit. And then he's trying to fight it there. We'll see.
Well, it was too close for comfort, that's for sure.
Okay, we'll look again. It's going to be Blount's ball.
Much to the great chagrin
sometimes
of Spanish Fort.
Sometimes
cloud here.
Yeah, and sometimes you can get a reaction by, looking at the Spanish Fort players who are around it. They were emphatic that he touched it.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's see if we can see from here. See, right there, it looks like it kind of went right between his hands, and the ball kind of changed a bit of direction.
Yeah, maybe.
See, now you're starting to think again?
I'm thinking anything could happen on that play.
Yeah, you have to be down there.
Nothing conclusive.
And Jimbo's down there, so.
Right. We got an injured player all the way back out near midfield.
Let's pray he's okay while we're debating possession here, but certainly it's over with. The judgment's been made by P. Ryan that it's Blount's ball.
P-Rez. And you could have 15 refs down there and not get that play right.
Well, and it just took that funky bounce as soon as it hit the turf, and it's almost a natural reaction by put your hands up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're fortunate one way or the other.
Shoo. Well, maybe some karma after the questionable 15-yard flag thrown on him earlier in that drive. Let's see which one of the Leopards it is that's down over there on the far side.
Collins. Sidney Collins.
Oh, they'll ill afford to lose him because he has been making play after play after play.
Been great here in the second half.
Yeah, it looks like they're stretching him. So let's pray that's a cramp and he's getting some fluid in him.
Looks like it, right?
If we can take one more look here.
What you're looking for is a change in direction when the ball's up near his hands.
Oh, this might be our best look here.
I don't think his hands got up to it.
No, I think it went right.
It may have hit his helmet.
It was
there
like a
down. It makes me think.
Well, let's see here. It's almost like a.
Yeah, I don't see that necessarily, that change in direction that you're talking about.
Well, I can't see because the ball goes out of the frame there.
Yeah. One way or the other, Pugh has not done the best job in punt return tonight on balls like that.
But he's made up for it running it.
I know, but what I'm saying is you're the catching it or you're getting out of the way.
Yeah, you need to be decisive about it.
Blount started their last drive at the same spot on the 7.
How'd that work out?
It was a one-play, 93-yard drive. And Tejon Pugh not in the backfield. They put Jamarcus Poe-Malden back there, and they'll split Pugh out to the top with Collins Woods and LeBaron Jones to the bottom of the screen.
Try to get a screen out there to Pugh.
It's a lot of guys that can make you miss.
Jacoby Davis.
He's got to get that one up, and he knows it.
Yep, short hop that one to LeBaron Jones.
Got all the noise with the trips to the other side, and we're trying to isolate the one-on-one over here.
Not getting a block. They weren't going to do anything special for him. Just see if he could miss a guy, make a guy miss.
Just throw it out there and let him play.
If you're just flipping in, you're thinking, wow, this has been a back-and-forth game. No, it's 42-14 with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Blount gets a 65-yard touchdown, and that led to 20 unanswered points where we're at right now. Now they zip it up to the far side.
Good decision by the quarterback.
Yeah, that's going to be a long injury attorney's first down.
Yeah, that linebacker was splitting the difference over there on that receiver, and it just gave him plenty of space, throw it to him, and he'd just go up the field, kick the sticks, and get a first down.
I mean, seen the read ahead of the pass and just knew where he was going to go with the ball.
Yeah, either that or Alonzo's still in the zone calling these plays.
Kyle Cass with the reception with a minute 25 to go. Again, comes up and his knee was down. LeBaron Jones when he makes it, and that's hard to put with that one on the receiver. That's got to, again,
that's on Alonzo.
To the knee.
I mean, not Alonzo. That's on the QB. Got to get it up to him.
On Jacoby, coming to the near side.
He's usually got a big enough arm to do that, but maybe it's wearing down tonight.
And he kind of bumbled the snap just ever so slightly when he took it. Exactly.
All right.
So, second and 12 after the loss of 2.
Well, some other throws he's made tonight, he's offered evidence he can throw it further than that.
To the near hash. Marcus Poe-Malden. Now split out. Now they take it even to him in the backfield. He spins away, and he's at the 30, 35, and he tight ropes it up the near sideline for a first down.
Again, a good call by Alonzo. I thought he should have ran it, but that was a lot of effort out of that player, Hyundai.
Well, it was a lot of effort because of the penetration. It looks like this thing's going to get snuffed out quick. Penetration. But watch this move. Even, gee whiz, his slip led to more yards.
Yeah, he resembles that Tyreek Hill there as
playmaker for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That buzz in my ear there.
Or Tariq Cohen from the Chicago Bears. Kind of looks the same way as there. So long injury attorney's first down.
Well, he could be Antonio Brown for the Steelers wearing that 10 too.
Leopards. I thought he's just Jamarcus Poe-Maldon for the Blount Leopards. Through the hands of Kyle Cass.
Yeah, a little bit of heat on that one, but he had to.
But also, defender with the hands up. Dan Brennan could have just been enough to distract the Cass, the intended receiver.
You got to like that effort by Spanish Fort.
Greg Peterson watching back at the NBC 15 station. He's not going home anytime soon with Nate coming.
No, but his eyes,
keep us informed, brother.
His eyes are not on any cones right now. He's watching this game.
He did not agree with the non-fumble call on the last punt return there.
I wonder why.
He did not.
Well, maybe he's got a better replay out there at the station, huh?
Maybe he's got a son that plays for Spanish Fort.
Yeah, maybe he's looking at it through
he's probably looking at it on that
glasses.
100-inch screen out there.
Down to 39.5 seconds.
I think Blount took a timeout.
No, I don't think. Well, I thought maybe there was a something on Kyle Cass's uniform, maybe, like because the official pointed to him, like maybe.
Well, the clock stopped, and the teams are not
acting like a timeout.
We just haven't had like a lot of touchdowns. We've had some spectacular touchdowns and some.
Well, we've had 11 of them tonight, so.
Yeah, you're right. Some are bound to be
if you're
really
keeping
great.
it up at home.
Yeah. Spreading everything out again.
Yeah, I started thinking he said 11 touchdowns. Wait a minute.
But they didn't reset the play clock, and now the Leopards play clock's down to 2, and they have to take a timeout. I'm not sure what happened up there. So
the clock did stop, and then it looks like it moved down to where it was.
So Blount had to take a timeout. Hey, we got more folks watching over in Mobile. Robert Cook checking in, watching the game tonight. He's usually a regular viewer. Was watching the game last week with Frank Lott. I don't know if he's by himself or with his friend Frank tonight, or just watching the game. But
well, a name like Cook, he's probably got something over in the grill. Can he invite us over after?
Might be past dinner time with Robert watching the game, I'd say.
I can tell you this. You'd rather
it's
grill.
Always dinner time to me.
I know, but you'd rather grill out tonight than tomorrow night.
Sure. Hey, it's 12 o'clock somewhere, everywhere, at some point.
All right, let's go down. Tara's got an update on Sidney Collins. Tara.
Yeah, it appears to be cramping Jim. They were icing both of his calves, but they did retape the right ankle. He's definitely been a key to this Blount momentum. Definitely need him back tonight.
Yeah, he really kind of jumped on the scene last week with his play against McGill, and then you can tell it was just a sophomore out there, but a lot of energy, and then making the plays to back it up. So Blount has to use the timeout. We'll remember that one like we remember kind of maybe that missed extra point here in the third quarter. 35 seconds left.
Well, you need everything to beat this Spanish Fort team. You can't help them by penalties or misusing your timeout. So it probably is going to play into the outcome of this game.
The pace of this game, like Nate might get here before this one wraps up.
No, we will be done before Nate, or you guys will be a two-man booth.
39 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Now what? Okay. Dead air, as they say in radio.
2nd and 10.
There's a penalty now, and let's see where the foul is this time.
Both linesmen threw it.
It's going to be encroachment against the Toros.
Got a few of those.
Yeah, I tell you what, my good friend Atlas Heron, who's the defensive line coach here for Spanish Fort, was just imploring this group to step it up, and then they step it up.
Encroachment on the defense. Remains second down.
They step it up early, and I'm sure he's not happy about that.
If I had a coach named Atlas, I'd listen real closely to everything he had to say.
Well, I listened
He'll
to
give you directions.
He played for the Cleveland Browns, Green Bay, Houston, and started at Bama.
Went to Daphne High School, too, I believe, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Slipping Jacoby Davis now out to the right side, trying to get away. Spins.
Wow, what an effort by him.
Gains to the 41. He'll still lose 2, but wow, it could have been so much worse.
Might be a little banged up on the ankle.
I think you're Blount. You maybe just let Jacoby Davis get a little extra time. Here's down to 18 seconds.
I agree.
And a big third down coming up to start the fourth quarter. Wow.
We got a little tussle going on, huh?
As your mother loved to say, Big Lucky.
Absolutely.
42-34 through 3. It's the game of the week, of course, here on UTV 44. This is why you stick with the broadcast till the fourth quarter. 42-34.
Well, I couldn't read.
Spanish Fort leads Blount. 3rd and 8. Davis rolls all the way back. He's got a whole bunch of room in front of him on the left side. He's going to get the first down and more all the way up to the 42-yard line, and they're going to tack on 15 for a late hit at the end of that one. So it's going to be a long injury attorney's first down, and then there's going to be 15 more coming.
Now here's what a mobile quarterback can do for you. The screen breaks down, they got it covered, but all this pasture over here, he just takes advantage of it.
A lot of guys slipping. Well, this is a guy that played safety last year very effectively for Blount, so you know he can run.
Not afraid of contact.
Ben Thomas with a really good story, AL.com, about this very serious car accident he was in a few years ago, and his friendship with Kadarius Toney, now of course at the University of Florida, the quarterback that he replaced.
Dead ball. Personal foul against the defense. First down.
Well, this will move it all the way up to the 28-yard line.
Now, Dan, let's say they scored.
I'm just thinking,
they chase the point?
I was just going to ask you, Vic Lockett.
I do not. You got plenty of times the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah,
no, but get the extra point and let's go.
But I don't know, what's the difference between being down 1 or 2?
Playing good on defense.
But what's the difference between down 1 or 2? What's the difference?
Yeah, I agree.
So
just go ahead and go with the game.
Go for it.
No. We have to get Dano's take.
Oh, Blunt's going to have to take another timeout.
What happened? Time run out?
No, the play clock hadn't even started yet. All right, hey, we'll go back to our trivia question while we have a timeout here. So we talked about Spanish Sports dominance here at home. So they haven't lost a region game since 2014. Dan Brennan has his hand up. So Dan Brennan, who was the last region opponent to beat the Toros here on the Hill?
Listen, give me a little break. I never got the chance to do that in an actual class
Right.
my entire scholastic life.
And I'm not sure you're going to get called on after this one either. So
well, you know, I'm thinking that maybe different teams were in different regions at that time. And how about St. Paul's?
Dan Brennan says St. Paul's. Let's look and see.
I say Spanish.
No, Daphne was the last team to beat him.
I was going to say...
Well, you said the team to the north.
North.
And you're pointing south right now, Vic. So
Yeah,
I really got
north, whatever.
no idea. Who are you thinking?
I was thinking the guys up there, Jack West in the game.
Saraland. You're thinking Saraland. Okay. Yes, the northern part of Baldwin County.
I don't know if you meant the Minnesota Vikings or... I don't know what he's talking about.
Well,
no,
you
know what? Some of those years, you need the Vikings to beat this group.
Daphne 7-0. That was the... that was, and I think, wasn't that maybe after... the game after Tyler hurt his knee, and
you're exactly right.
I think that's exactly what it was.
First junior year.
10 at the 28. Give it off. Trajan Pugh going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Like the play selection, it wasn't positive. Still got to make them respect the run.
Penetration. Blew that one up again. Pugh
could be in the running back-to-back. Players of the week here on UTV 44.
Yeah.
Boy, if
Would that be a trivia question and a record?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah. If we had to submit.
Can we use that next week?
How about if we had to submit the players at halftime as opposed to after the game? It would be a little different. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Jacoby Davis looks on single coverage in the end zone, lobs it in the corner. Touchdown, Leopards!
Wow.
What a throw.
What a catch.
Jamarcus.
What a defensive play. He was right there.
Poe Malden with a touchdown reception.
Sometimes the offense wins even if you do everything right on defense.
All right, so here's what I'm saying, Vic. Let's watch the replay here. What a throw by Davis.
He's got, we know he's capable of it. And there
Wow.
he shows his arm off right there with some touch and accuracy.
Yep.
All right,
I'm with you.
So Blount's trying to decide go 1 or 2 here, but the play
Dano,
clock's...
I say go for 1.
But the play clock's already down to 15, and they have to hurry. I say, what's the difference between being down 2 or being tied, Vic? I just think you're going to be down 1 or 2. There's no difference as far as a field goal or what.
Well, they're going to do something here.
They better have to hurry and get it off.
They ain't going to do it.
And they're going to get it off. Wow, they did not. If that, you know what? That's more on the coaches not quickly getting him out there, I think.
Well, I saw them heading out there, but they were taking their time. And Jimbo isn't playing about rolling this game along, so.
Oh, now he wants to hurry. Now he wants to hurry the pace of the game.
Yeah, I think he does. But now,
Wow.
but they had their marching orders well enough in time. They just didn't get to the line and go ahead and execute the play call.
Do you see what I'm saying? If you kick the point after, you're down 1. What's the difference between down 1 and 2?
It's within reach with a field goal.
Well,
that's what you're saying?
Yeah, either 1 or 2. Either now you have a chance to tie it.
Yeah, I think you got to tie it,
or
to me.
Why be down 1? It doesn't gain you anything to be down 1.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't play Bama.
Well, my point is you still got 10 full minutes left in the football game.
And you'd still either
so
be
a
down.
lot of football is still left. You're stopping them on defense. Don't give them any momentum by missing an extra point here.
Coach Lockett,
just go ahead and go with
sometimes you're just wrong. You just have to admit you're wrong.
Yeah,
So
okay.
after the 5-yarder, now they'll
It's
back
a matter of opinion.
Jamarcus Poe Malden goes way deep. He sets up 8 yards back, and they look for the fade. They want Collins Woods, and he gets hauled down. And now there's the flag.
Yep.
Yeah, you had to throw.
Yeah, it was definitely a flag. He hit him early, even though it's going to be out of reach for sure.
Well, look.
But the official right next to it didn't throw it, but.
Yeah, the guy deep back there saw it.
Yeah, that's.
Now what he's looking at,
now
you have to ask him.
Yeah. now you kick the PAT right.
Absolutely. You don't want to give up any momentum. Just get that points and let's go and play defense.
Look, the points aren't, it's not necessarily a given. That's why they only have 40. He also already has missed 1 extra point.
Okay, I'll factor that in.
Get the tie. And by the way, second look, that wasn't as egregious.
No, but Collins Woods may take an acting class a little bit. Might have some thespian skills in him with everything else that he has.
It's a pass interference. Half the distance to the goal. We will retry the point.
There's a lot going on here.
And in this booth, talk about the debate team.
Tension in the booth up here that rarely happens.
Jared will have to come up here and take his belt off.
One time in 17 years, I've been right compared to Lockett, now Collins Woods, now he goes hobbling off.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think he's probably cramping a bit.
Yeah, so now they'll bring his replacement in. Cameron McKinney will go in the slot.
Well, that's going to change this.
And now you got Kyle Cass lined up in the backfield.
Okay.
And Trajan Pugh, and we've not seen Jacoby Davis just do like a quarterback draw, Dan Brennan. We haven't seen that. Davis looking, pulls it down, runs. We have got a tie ball game.
Just like that.
And that's a statement you can't make if you kick the extra point.
Absolutely.
And so now a tie game. You talk about momentum. Look at the other side of the field.
28 unanswered by the Blount Leopards.
Let's put some cards on the table here, right? I think all three of us were really disappointed the way Blount came out in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there just seemed to be, from
still
a
on the bus
focus standpoint, in some
execution, which leads to lack of execution, or lack thereof.
Maybe effort on a few plays.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun to watch. They got down 42-14. Like I say, we've had close games, we've had blowouts. Tonight, we get both.
Well, look, when I was passing down there, and when I heard Coach Holly talking, I started looking for my helmet.
I got it.
He was imploring the troops. I'm going to put it in TV terms, to show up.
Well, they must have been playing Barry Manilow before the opening kick because they came out with not much.
Well, how about
what did they play in at the end? I'd like to hear that.
And how about this? There's 11 minutes left to go.
Wow.
In this football game.
Well, somebody's a downer in this game. Certainly not in this booth, huh?
We're happy.
We're having some fun, right?
Yeah,
this is what we like.
That's why
competitive football.
It's the game of the week. We could use Greg Peterson and his squeegee abilities here to help us on the press box. It's all condensationed up. Cass sends this one to the far side. Looking for a block, and now we got more flags as Dayton Reeder takes it to the 41-yard line. And
I saw some holding, but I don't think they saw the holding I saw.
Looking for that execution from the Spanish Fort offense that we saw in the first half. It's disappeared. It did in the third period.
Tell you about our Scholastic athletes from the Blount Leopards. Romarius Caples, we see him play on offense. We'll see him play some on linebacker as well. Plays football and baseball. The Gentlemen's Academy, the yearbook, the elite chapter of the Mobile Kappa League. Also plans to attend Tuskegee and become a mechanical engineer.
Boy, there's nothing.
They did see the holding I saw.
Nothing not to like about all that, by the way. Congratulations to Romarius.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him my resume after this is over with.
And our Scholastic Athlete of the Week from Spanish Fort, Riley Vaught. She's a senior, plays volleyball. And we'll tell you all about that. She's even got some things on there I don't know how to pronounce. So here come the Toros with Samsel. 1st and 10 back at their own 30. Give it off to Hickson. Hickson with some blockers in front, but wow, it closes down quickly at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I've been remiss calling out Charles Mickles. He did a good job on hanging on the leverage there.
Mickles and also LeBaron Jones in on the tackle.
How about that?
So back to Riley Vaught. She plays on the volleyball team. 4.30 GPA. She, like Dan Brennan, has always the pre-med major.
By the way, go ahead, James.
Yes, she's the Interact Club president, the FCA, and tremendous student athlete here at Spanish Fort. And congratulations to Riley at the 40-yard line. Be very close to a first down. I think Toro's going to have it.
Yeah, sometimes those safeties have to fill those gaps like a linebacker. And I tell you what, number 30 came up there and did a 38. Eric Petway again.
Yeah, Petway, but that's a long injury attorney's first down. And boy, talk about needing one.
That wasn't
Connor
Petway.
Hagan.
That was Kentrell Dortch.
Yeah, he is not. That's the first time we've called.
Coming in there, sticking his face in there like a linebacker from the defensive back position.
Tie game. Samsel out of the backfield gets it off to Hagan, and Hagan at the 50, and now a flag. That's going to be a holding call.
Yeah, it was a hold.
Yep, that's going to go against Abrams Drain.
I didn't think they would call it because usually in NFL, Jim, I don't know if you noticed it is just horrible holding going on. I didn't think they was going to catch that one.
Yeah, get your hands out away from your body, though. That's when they always seem to.
They'll do it sometimes then. They'll call it sometimes.
Yeah.
Holding. During the run, against the offense, replay first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, the mood has changed on this side of the field, too. There's some little 10, 12-year-olds that are learning new words in the stands.
And not some they can say in Sunday school, right?
Hey, you go 59-7 since 2007 here. You're not used to this.
No, and
well, we need to pump our brakes, too, because this group expects to win. You said it, so they're going to fight.
And it's a tie game.
They're going to fight.
Spanish Fort has never trailed in this game.
Blount has not won it yet.
Hagan now fakes the handoff, and they go to Drain. Wow, Abrams Drain. Great job to
what a
pull that one in.
What a play by the DB.
How about
what
the
a pass by the quarterback. Yes. Good all the way around.
Let's watch here in traffic. Play action.
I mean, the defensive back is all over him, but he got it in there and he caught it.
Yeah, that's Kelsey Hill, who's in there on the coverage, but not before an 8-yard gain for Abrams Drain. 2nd and 2. Samsel gives it off and turning the corner. Hickson again. Hickson inside the 30, still on his feet, cuts it back. Hickson all the way down to the 22-yard line, and that's a long injury attorney's first down.
Hickson knew how to maximize and utilize his blocks, and he rode them all the way down the field.
He got a big one to start things out on the corner right here, and it was legal, and they were able to spring him.
Yeah, he sucked him in to make him come inside, and then all of a sudden he spurts back outside.
28-yard pickup.
Big.
And another long injury attorney's first down. Hagan right up the middle, and here come the Toros.
Sidney Collins making the tackles, saving the day.
9 yards downfield.
Collins down again.
Man, hate to see any of these players go down. Having such a good competitive football game.
How about folks who just were planning on dinner anyway, and it was 42-14.
Right.
Let's go ahead and eat, huh?
Well, they're strolling in paying the babysitter.
Yeah, flipped over, or maybe some flipped over to watch the Cubs take a 1-0 lead against the Nationals and came back like, holy cow.
Yeah, that's Cameron Johnson.
Cameron Johnson lipping off there. Hey,
Johnson, okay.
Thank God he's okay.
Hey, Betty Dean.
Minister Terry right there escorting them all.
This might be in all the years been doing our first Betty texting in to say, watching the game here tonight.
Oh, we're in South Alabama. It was bound to happen.
Well, she probably knows some routes too, I bet, huh?
She does, Vic Lockett. I have to go see her once in a while down in Robertsdale. She's enjoying high school football here tonight on UTV 44. You know, the game has gone so long. I have 7% left on my phone. So if you're texting, you need to get it to us quickly. All right, second and a long one. High snap. Samsel able to get it, but Mickles is right there to wrap him up.
A rare mistake by Spanish Fort.
Wow. Snap came up a little high and off.
We're used to seeing
hand.
These guys execute perfectly and not beat themselves. And a couple of times here tonight they have shot themselves in the foot.
Oh boy, yeah. Samsel, 6'3". And
he's a load to pull down even after that.
But did a good job to
just
keep
secure
that
it
from going over his head.
Yeah.
Lots of 3rd and 8. Samsel to roll out. All kinds of time. Now comes back to the near side. It's dropped.
What a job over there.
Trying to get it to Corson Swan. Yeah, we got to go deep on the depth chart.
Charles Mickles again.
Your guy.
Yeah, I mean, he got his hands up, and he may have came down a little wrong way, but he got his hands up on that drag by that tight end going the opposite way of all the direction.
He's
probably just enough to, disrupt him, and he doesn't catch that ball.
He's cramping down there.
Well, hey, this game's going long, so you're probably going to get a couple of cramps in this game. I mean, my mouth's starting to cramp.
I know the feeling. So 7.5 to go.
But I can still eat a couple of burgers now. I can guarantee you that, Jim.
Lockie's got lockjaw.
That would be my death.
We do have Steph and Brian Coors, actually my niece from Illinois, got married last week. Drove all the way down. They're going to take their honeymoon on the Carnival Cruise on a mobile and got here this morning and drove all night. And then the big moose out front didn't tell them that the cruise ship was closed. So they're waiting to find out where they're going to be rerouted to.
Well, Jim, you just have to open up the boat and show them a little round the
cruise,
Gulf on your big boat.
If a cruise ship isn't going out, the half a drink isn't going out either.
Well, I figure, you're going to ride out the storm out there. You know how they do those big military ships. They don't keep them in port when a storm comes in. They take them out to sea to ride the storm out, and I assume you'll do the same thing.
Yeah, that's not happening, Big Lockett.
He'll be glued to the sofa listening to Greg Peterson.
So 4th and 8 here. So now you're at the...
Well, they've got a good field goal kicker, huh, Dan?
Yeah, so...
They've got as good as you're going to see around here.
And they're going to send out Matt Quinn, Matty Ice. It's what
Ben
Blackman
dare
called him
faking?
That's what I think he got a kicker who nailed a 50-yarder against Daphne, who beat Blount a few years ago here. So this would be from 36.
Well in his range.
Luke DeWeese is the holder. And Matt Quinn continues to be dynamic on the year and stems the tide of 28 in a row scored by Blount. And now the Toros regain the lead, 45-42 with 7.5 to go on the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. I mean, we all thought we'd have 87 points on the board with 7:30 to go in the game, right? A couple of good defenses here tonight.
Crazy.
Teams will like to run the football if they can.
You never expect one team to get out 42-14 and the other one to tie it.
Come back 8 plays, 51 yards. Matt Quinn with a 36-yard field goal there.
We had a chance to visit with him as he was doing that warming up before the game, just solo, just by himself out there.
Yep. He said, we said, you've made some big kicks on TV, young man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was just very happy before the game.
There's another one.
Trajan Pugh at the 8. Look out. Trajan Pugh at the 40. Quinn slips down, and Trajan Pugh will give the Leopards their first lead of the night.
This is unbelievable.
And
that
a late
kid
two late flags
is
just
electric.
Came out. That has to be on the Spanish Fort. That's got to be on the.
Well, he's asking for the ball as if he wants to spot it back
Wow,
here.
those just no personal foul. See if it's a dead ball. I mean, those flags were not out as Pugh was wrestling down. Personal foul against Blount.
Wow.
Bringing the play back.
Yep, he was reaching for the ball, so that tells me he wanted to spot it in the field of play. So, unbelievably, what have
a personal, not even a block in the back, not a. I mean, a personal foul.
Unless they hit somebody that was totally out of the play and just.
All right, so he's going to come right
to the sideline.
Trajan Pugh coming up here. Matt Quinn slipped down. We saw that.
Oh, there it was. There was a block in the back. Is what it was.
Oh, yeah.
But he called personal foul.
Going to play. Personal foul. Hitting a defenseless player.
Yeah, and that's a terrible penalty to take. He's
15 yards from the spot of the foul.
You know what it is?
I don't think it's defenseless.
No, it's the new rule. You have to get your hands out in front and arms extended in high school football. You can't come from the side.
Well,
but still, Trajan Pugh's 30 yards downfield.
He's gone. It's a block in the back.
Well, I noted that great smart play by Collins, and that right there was just one that, that kid wish he didn't do.
Yeah, and you know what? That's, sometimes you say, hey, officials, let the players decide it. You've got to call that. You've got to throw that flag right there.
Yeah,
so
you got to.
Wow. All the way back to the 32. Jamarcus Poe Malden trying to get to the outside, and he'll stay on his feet, breaks a tackle at the 50, the 40. Are you kidding me? Jamarcus Poe Malden, and now flags come up
again
at the 10 as he takes it 68 yards.
Now he was Cadillacing a little bit at the 20. Are they going to call that?
Wow. Well, first of all,
he was Cadillacing a little bit at the 20, so I guess they may call unsportsmanlike there.
But what a play!
Watch him break free of the tackle on the far side.
Out of him.
Yeah, before he gets the keys to the Cadillac, he breaks a tackle right there.
Yeah, gets away from Xavier Love.
Runs through an arm tackle there.
See that hand in the air?
Is that enough?
Is that enough for?
Well, I don't know. You guys have to tell me about these rules. The NFL started putting the celebration back in things, and looks like this league is taking it completely out.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of flags.
This is, so Blount has had the lead twice in the last 2 plays, taken off the board. There's Jimbo, unsportsmanlike against Blount.
Yeah, he did Cadillac. I saw that.
Okay, so
it's probably the rule again.
So where do you spot the penalty from, Big Rocket?
At the point of where I guess he began at the foul.
During the run, unsportsmanlike against the offense. It's 15 yards from the end of the run.
The end of the No.
The end of the run's down at the end zone, yeah.
So now it's going to be 15 yards. It's got to be a spot foul.
Got to take the points off the board, which they've already done now, I guess. So.
Oh, that's of course. But, the end of the run's the end zone, like Jim said. So it should be 1st and 10 at the 15.
Well, we know what he meant at the point of the foul, but
okay.
Was that a foul? My word.
What haven't we seen tonight here?
Well, what I have noticed is Jimbo's crew runs an extremely tight ship. They hadn't been wrong, but they've been perfectly on saying no shenanigans, no nothing. Because they're calling holes that I've seen not called. They're holes, but they just don't get called.
They're calling everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And here's why we're doing this game. It is what 10-15.
I'll tell you here. So Bart Sessions, we talk about the coach, is in the stands. He said that touchdown should stand to be marked off at the end after the play. That it should be marked off after, like it's a dead ball.
Wow.
So now give to the near side, and Jamarcus Poe-Mullen.
I knew he was going to get that.
And now he's going to get.
He's going to get that, yeah, because he was playing
whistle.
a little bit through the whistle. Jim Bowden and them are calling it every single thing.
So now it's going to.
That's why this game's at 10-15. We've had a lot of penalties.
Can I just say all the people that are like.
I've got 10:01, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, we got Willis Wilcox, Pat Ivey, Brian Gennard, Gene Everett, all these people like watching this game, some with Spanish Fort affiliations, some with Blount affiliations watching the game. Yeah, just watching a great high school football game.
Some that are big fans of the referees.
Yeah. You know, I've got 8 fouls myself on board.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense. Penalty makes the line of the game, first down.
And I imagine Spanish Fort has 8, which is totally uncharacteristic of that group.
10 personal fouls in this game combined.
Wow. Yeah, not good.
So 1st and 10 from the 15. Trajan Pugh and now Romarius Caples, the Scholastic Athlete of the Week, also checks in into the backfield. Davis looking for the corner of the end zone, and there's another flag.
Right on cue, you expect it.
So two Blount receivers kind of crossing there in the corner. We usually don't see that.
You know, they're running it so well.
Why would you do it?
Well, I'm not saying why would you do it. I'm just saying I was a little surprised myself, but a lot of confidence in those wideouts to make the play.
Absolutely. And Collins Woods was over there baiting the cornerback.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that?
Yep.
And then knew he was going to break when the ball got to him.
Yeah, it was kind of not a double move, but he kind of lulled him to sleep like, this is as hard as I'm going. No, it's not.
Right? Defensive pass interference. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So the rule is just 15 yards pass interference?
Yes.
Okay.
So half the distance to the goal, and long injury attorneys.
Jim just gave me that look like, where you been the last 8 years? You've seen this call before.
Out the middle, Trajan Pugh grinding his legs forward, and he's in for the touchdown with no flags.
Please add that note one more time, Jim.
But it's early yet.
They haven't unpiled everybody yet.
So Blount with their first lead.
I think it's their third lead, you know, just they didn't count the others.
Trajan Pugh. Wow.
See,
third score on this possession.
You make a moxie play against a team that's got the moxie, right?
Right.
You're a fan of the boxing ring.
So now, Vic Lockett, they'll kick the PAT, and we will not go into this discussion again.
Yeah, go with the safe route.
And the Blount Leopards.
Amazing performance.
Lead this game 49-14. They trailed 42-14 late in the second quarter, and we've got 6 minutes to go here on the Game of the Week on UTV 44.
Put your hand down.
Don't race it in class, right?
Man.
Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas. We weren't sure that the Blount Leopards were with us late in the first half, but they are here now, and they have taken the lead 49-45. The Toros
Look at that.
Start at the 32-yard line.
10 men on the tackle there. I mean, Blount has really came out of the halftime and took the smelling salts and woke up.
6 minutes to go. 4 plays, 50 yards. Took about 42 minutes in real time for that drive to take place. Just a minute 4 off the game clock. And now 6 minutes to go. You know, and so, you know, Great teams always have some adversity they have to face at some point. You're the Toros. You're really facing it right now.
Some adversity here. You got an inspired Blount team, my Dan.
We don't know what we're looking at this point, really. I mean,
25 penalties in this game. 14 against Spanish Fort, 11 against Blount.
Wow.
2 touchdowns taken
I had them
off
at
the
8
board.
for sure, and I knew I missed at least a couple.
Yeah, you got to give Blount credit for scoring a touchdown
3 times.
What, yeah, right after the
on one series.
That touchdown was taken away. Now what?
Ben Blackman's going to call a timeout, I believe.
Dan said, now what? It's getting past Dan's bedtime, and he's getting grumpy.
Well, it's just
because he's usually being up about 4 a.m. So.
Not anymore, but the point is the whistles, and at least it was just a timeout right there. Man.
Y'all thought I was kidding about Nate getting here, during this
during this
well, we
broadcast.
may be here. I even got folks texting in, CJ out there checking out the game, saying these refs are really serious about these calls.
All right,
let me to make some changes, but I don't have that authority, CJ.
All right, the UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44 is brought to you by Greer's since 1916. Also by Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. And wow, who are you going to pick as your Players of the Week choices this week?
Well, Trajan's made a statement several different ways.
Yeah, he's definitely on the short list, that's for sure.
You got to tip your cap to a quarterback that leads its team back from
Look at Collins Woods
to 14.
Collins Woods now in playing safety for the Blount Leopards. Blount's playing about 13 total players right now between offense and defense, it seems. Give up the middle and a pickup of 8 out to the 40-yard line.
I'm telling you now, Spanish Fort, they're not going to give this game away. They believe some way, somehow. So Blount's got to keep playing if they're going to pull this out.
And this offense hasn't been on the field. Now you can credit Blount's defense for that.
Yep.
But they were moving up and down the field like they're mowing the lawn in the first half.
Dayton Reeder in the backfield and gets up in a good open field tackle there. Kentrell Dortch.
And we know about this Spanish Fort team. They have found and identified some talented ball carriers and handlers of the football, and they're going to have it. They're going to get it on this drive for sure.
Long injury attorneys. First down.
And look for Blackman to have some wrinkle he pull out of his sleeve, too, to make a play.
You're right.
He's known for it, in my opinion. At least I've noticed it.
Jeremiah Hickson, he's had a big game.
Nice D right there.
He gets stood up. He'll gain 2. As we're approaching.
Hickson just had nowhere to go. Everywhere he stuck his face, a purple helmet showed. So got a hat in a gap.
Inside 5 minutes to go now.
Hickson makes those guys in the karate movies look slow.
I hear the sound effects from up here.
Yeah, he just bobs and weaves and.
Samson wants to set up the screen, and Hagan can't hold on to it.
Wow, they had it set up,
Wow, they really did.
Had a chance right there. Now,
good call, too.
Oh, yeah, it was great. They invited the defense in.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback's able to get the ball out over the rushing defender, and Hagan just can't hold on.
Third and 7. 4:32 to go. At the 47 for the Toros. First time they've trailed in this game. Again, led 42-14 with 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. Samson.
Yeah, Blount decided to drop back in the zone. He played zone that time, and quarterback did a good job of finding the hole in the zone and delivered the football, kicked the sticks.
Yeah, Chris Abrams-Drain with the reception and a long injury attorney's first down. That's a big third down completion.
They can't rely on the kicker at this point. They're down 4 points, so they need.
He's good, but he's not 4 points.
Not that good.
Hagan right up the middle, and he's going to have another Spanish Fort first down, but brought to you by Long Injury Attorneys.
It's been a big bread and butter play for this team. Much of the game is Hagan straight up the gut.
Now approaching 4 minutes left. Go to Hagan, good penetration. Kyle Cass
making a statement on defense now. Just crashing down to the inside to make the play.
Outscored this Toros here.
And we got a Leopard player, I think, cramping up again.
That's Collins Woods.
No, they got him on D now?
Oh, yeah, he's started the series back at safety.
Yeah, I bet Coach Blackman has noticed that too and probably don't want to put the ball up in the air too much there.
I mean, it's just trying to go back. It's 42-14 with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Yep. And then, what time was that? About 7:05?
And then the long 65-yard touchdown run. Jamarcus Poe Malden right at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and he's either in or that's it.
Yeah, and it's
basically he either had a score,
and it was
over.
So Spanish Fort at that point. Blount had one timeout left. They took it. They got a first down, and they weren't throwing them. They were just kind of trying. Okay, let's get out of here before it gets any worse. Don't want to worry. Maybe have an interception or something. All the momentum on the Spanish Fort side. So they get the touchdown right at the end of the half. And they make it 42-21. You say, oh, they got a little momentum going. And then since then, they battled back, tied the game at 42. Then Spanish Fort went up 45-42 with a field goal. And then the Leopards regained the lead, or gained the lead for the first time tonight at 49-44. Cortland Martin. Yeah, he's a little, see him there.
Well, they're giving everything they got now because this defense did not play well at all in the first half, evidenced by the 42 Spanish Fort points. They have given everything they have here in the second half, and everything's a lot, as you can see with Martin.
2nd and 10 from the 27. Dayton Reeder on the left side. He's inside the 20 to the 19 with 3rd down coming up.
What a hole there. He could have drove a truck through it. Closed down at the end. Big 3rd down here now.
Everything's, use all 4 downs if you have to because they're down 4.
You know who just made the tackle? It'd be Jacoby Davis with the tackle.
Nice crash down by Kyle Cass again.
Let's see the spot here. Did he get the first down?
I don't think he did.
I think he did as well.
Jimbo assessing it. He's going to take a measurement.
Listen,
he likes that TV time, brother.
You got to be careful pointing like you got a first down because that could be a flag.
Taunting.
Everything else has been.
Yeah.
So we're down to 3 minutes
to go. I'll have a nice conversation with Jimbo, and he'll correct me when I run into him on the town.
Just make sure you don't run into Miss Jimbo because she'll do a little more than correcting you, I think.
She's a good lady.
She is good, but she's serious about Jimbo.
Well, you got to defend her man.
Amen.
She's having busy tonight. So down to 2:58 left. We'll see the
Jimbo, brand new grandpapa. Excited about that, I'm sure.
Was the baby born before the game started? Let's say, okay, so that's short.
Yeah, I didn't think he got it, but Blackman will probably make sure the quarterback handles this and go forward.
Well, yeah. So like Dan,
the 6'3" guy.
Yeah, your field goal you're down 49-45, so down 4. So the field goal doesn't, with only 2:58 to go. How about also too with each team with just 1 timeout left?
Could be crucial.
Boy, I tell you what, Blount right now is thinking, I think, Vic, and you can tell I could be wrong, but they got to be thinking penetration.
Absolutely, and pinching in this middle there.
Take a chance here.
Yeah, they got big number 65 in there, trying to close everything up in the middle.
And Samsel.
Yep, he's rushing up there to get a good quick snap. Now, there's a penalty flag, so it must be offensive unless he, lined up in the neutral zone. Gave him the freebie. And I would imagine.
Ball. Encroachment. On the defense.
Jarris Bush playing center.
Penalty makes the line of game. First
Not
down.
used to lining up defensively and probably got his helmet over the ball just a bit too much.
Long injury attorneys first down.
Well, the work's not over yet. We're going to see a lot of competing here.
But, and, you know, you're starting to think a little bit if you're Spanish Force, like, we don't want to give the ball back to Blount. Like,
Yeah,
we want to score.
You don't even want to kick off to him.
As late as we can here if we have a chance to score.
I don't think you get to be that cute about it, though.
Dayton Reader on the left side. Touchdown, Toros.
Well, that's more than cute. That's pretty.
Yeah, well, that's
pretty running through that alley like that.
You go ahead and you get the touchdown and you figure out what to do on defense and special teams. You can't drain the clock and score late. You just
don't want to take a chance of something happening,
you
huh?
got to trust in your defense.
So now Matt Quinn with a very big PAT to make it a 3-point game. Dayton Reader, his third rushing touchdown this season.
We're going to be bumping into Jimmy Fallon here in a little bit. On the TV, of course.
Well, if he'd have known what this game was going to be like, he may have been here.
Yeah, you've got a flag. Hold the cameras. Hold the band again.
Let's give it up for that offensive line.
So they're conversing about it now and deciding what they're going to call.
Jimbo Perez does not like coaching staffs coming out toward the numbers on the sidelines. He does not like, he's constantly pushing them back.
Yeah, you can see Spanish Force.
Personal foul. On the defense, hurdling. The point is good. 15 yards be assessed on the kickoff.
Dano, how many times have you heard that one called on the PAT?
Well, enough lately. I mean, if they did it, they did it. You got to call that.
Well, if you do anything with this group, I mean, if you spit on the field, you're subject to get kicked out of here.
That's a safety issue. But some of the stuff we've seen, head scratching, in my opinion. Now, we're not on the field, and we didn't hear what somebody might have said after a big play. And we did see a player with his finger in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That was enough there. I'm just saying, this one's going to sting Blount again, but they've been awfully resilient. And give the team in black a lot of credit. Everybody that you talk to says they know how to win games.
Yep.
And the cast keeps changing. So you talk about, Lev talks about the culture over at Blount. The culture is solid at Spanish Fork.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is one of the hallmarks.
Yeah. So Quinn kicking off of the 45 might put this one to the interstate. Sends it into the end zone.
Instead, he sends it to the service road.
So
80 yards to go.
2:26. We'll have 4 more lead changes and 6 penalties before. But now you bring overtime into it because now it's a 3-point game. Before, when it was 4, that you're thinking, no, there's no chance of overtime.
Well, then it'll be time for my breakfast. Then I promise you that.
You got to get pretty close to.
How about this Toro drive? 10 plays, 68 yards, 3:39 off the clock. Scoring drive brought to you by Mobile Regional Airport. Tell you what, there's some nervous Toro fans right down in front of us.
They were a little more nervous before that touchdown.
Well, you never know how explosive this Blount team has been. They can strike from anywhere.
If you've been watching, you do.
Jacoby Davis gives it off. Trajan Pugh breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and Trajan Pugh dragged down up to the 28-yard line. He'll pick up 8, 2:15 to go. 1 timeout for Blount.
I'll tell you what's going to come into play here, too, at this point is definitely conditioning.
Well, that's a good point.
We've seen some Blount players cramping up. Trajan Pugh. Mama's not going to have to rock him to sleep tonight, is she?
No, sir.
1:58, and now
we got some. Did they reset the play clock? They don't know. Well, it's at 00.
Now they reset it. And started up here with 1:55 of the clock running. Jacoby Davis.
Each team 1 timeout, right?
Yep. Davis wants the screen on the far side. It's dropped by Collins Woods.
Yeah, I think he heard a little footsteps there. He didn't run on through that pass there.
It's just amazing how a lot of the same plays that couldn't get much going in the first half they made big plays here in the second half.
You get a little emotionally spent. And so
Absolutely.
that's when you start making some mental errors
Absolutely.
for players on either side of the ball.
Now they got to get a first down.
Yeah, this is 3rd and 3 with 1:41 left here at the 27. Put Trajan Pugh out of the backfield. Davis fires it to the near side all over. LeBaron Jones was coverage there, and 4th down coming up.
A mistake defensively there. They did not even cover Trajan Pugh on the adjustment, but I thought the quarterback was going to him, but the play call was to the receiver.
And if Trajan slips out a little bit more, he's running.
The pasture's free again.
Yeah. So Blount will take their time out.
Yeah, here's the ball game right here, huh, Dano?
Cooks with the tackle. The stop on that.
You usually say that, right?
Yeah, here's the ball game for sure, but the point is they could draw a play or try something really short, like a quick hook, and it could go all the way.
Sure.
I mean, that's what we've seen here in the second half.
It could be a ball game in the way we're not even thinking it's the ball game.
Exactly. So, this is a game now that you're programmed to watch each play closely, like it could be a big play.
Here again, I probably would do something
pretty conservative.
Yeah, and let Jacoby get around the end.
He's been able to do that.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot.
They've run Jacoby around the end with some lead blockers. He's gotten the first down. There's a lot of guys that are at less than fully gassed up at this point.
Yeah, looks like they are going to try to probably get him over here to the going left.
Jamarcus Poe-Malden in the backfield.
Kyle Cass lined up at that tight end over there.
The play clock, they need to get that reset. Some chess matches going on between some offensive and defensive coordinators here right now, too.
Those safeties are up pretty tight, about not much further than linebacker length.
Now Cass splits back out from his tight position.
DJ James.
Screen up there.
It's matched up against LeBaron Jones at the bottom of the screen.
Or you can come this way and got less people over here.
Yeah, I was thinking I wouldn't be surprised to see the quarterback come right toward us.
Do something to the right.
Davis pitches it off. Jamarcus Poe-Malden wants to throw it. Now he's going to pull it down, makes a move. He's going to get the first down, and Jamarcus Poe-Malden up to the 42. Pretty much thinking that's not how that was diagrammed. Big
But was Woods open? I see him back behind on top of the safety. Just didn't have time enough to load up and swing it, though, did he?
Long and long injury attorney's first down.
Yeah, he was looking to throw it, and then watch this move.
And how many players have we seen slip at that point of the field tonight?
Oh, he made him slip.
Far side, they get it out. Jamarcus Poe-Malden up the sideline, still on his feet.
Yeah, nice job by that safety to come up there and try to fuss it.
Wow, the clock.
But he didn't get it. It should stop with the kicking of the six as well as going out of bounds.
They let it run a bit, so long and long. Injury attorney's first down.
I'll tell you what, I don't know about you watching on TV, anybody in this stadium tonight, unless they bump their head real bad, will never forget this game.
No, up at the 38-yard line. Spanish Fort takes their last time out. So kind of like, we're all in here now. All the chips are at the
unbelievable
on the
game.
Table.
42-14, Spanish Fort led this game with 20 seconds left to go in the first half.
Well, in a game that was, it may not have even been as close as that score indicated, 42-14. It was all Spanish Fort.
It was nearly embarrassing in the first half, and I think Lev Holly was embarrassed.
Sure.
That's why he sang a little opera at halftime.
Yeah, you put it nicely there, but this has been one exciting deal. And hey, I'll stay here and watch this game up until Sunday school if they're going to play this well.
Trajan Pugh, 206 yards on the ground tonight.
Man.
And hey, all this talk about Blount and the great comeback, like we said before, how many times has Spanish Fort found ways to win games like this? And right now, they lead it with 58 seconds left. They
know how to compete in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've we've said it over and over. The expectation is to find some way to win the football game.
Davis to LeBaron Jones. Jones, stiff arm, trying to run out of bounds, and does at the 30 to stop the clock with 51 seconds left.
Nice, safe play. If you got a quarterback like that can deliver it, and they do.
And if you got a kid that can catch it,
and you know they got 3 of those.
Well, and catch it and be strong enough and athletic enough to get out of bounds.
They may have 4 of those.
Well, that was awfully important right there, Vic.
Yeah, they've got the horsepower. Just hadn't seen them pull it all together until tonight.
Far side, Jamarcus Cole-Malden, a block there from Kyle Cass, and he's inside the 20 down to the 10. Long and long injury attorneys first down, and now.
You know what I thought?
Put the note, no flag.
Hey, by the way, I thought there should have been a flag or could have been a flag. I thought the running back moved a little early.
I thought he was leaning forward right before the snap. Then Kyle Cass was almost tied up at the top of the screen. And now they wind the clock.
Now they got several shots for the end zone.
Well, the clock's running against them here.
The give and stop. Now they'll have to hurry with 31 seconds left. They don't have a timeout. Now they're going to want him to spike the ball.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Jacoby Davis is going to get up, and a lot of time has run off. And now, boy.
He almost took a knee.
The clock's still running.
Either way, they just had to down it.
Boy, yeah, but
you don't.
But you don't. The clock still runs when you're down it.
Yeah.
No, So Dan's right. If he just took a knee, the clock should still be running.
Oh yeah. I say he almost.
But Jimbo stopped it for some reason.
Well, I think
he blew the whistle.
He was spiking and taking a knee at nearly. I don't know.
Now it's third down, third and goal.
Oh, you lost 2 downs. You lost a lot of time.
Let's see here. Does he spike it?
Watch.
No,
he never spiked it. Now
that was a fumble.
And that's why I didn't know why Jimbo blew the whistle.
Right.
That's question number 59.
Davis going up top, looking for LeBaron Jones, and too far. And now here the Toros, with their defense, a chance to win the game on 4th and goal.
Hey, truthfully, they shouldn't even have this chance right here, but with the play that transpired.
Yeah. I was wondering why he blew the whistle. I thought it was a penalty.
Yeah. Right.
I was looking for a penalty because I knew he didn't spike it.
It was a fumble.
Well, that whole, once that running play
that changed everything.
Didn't work, and then they didn't know, and they're going to try the field goal to tie it. And this would be a 27-yard attempt. Kenneth Williams, high snap, Cass got it down.
Not even close.
No good.
Wow, I thought it was good.
I was watching right there, Vic.
Way left.
Wow, I thought it was good. He had the distance. But just didn't get it between the uprights.
Cass did a great job to get the snap
down. He did, because that was high.
Wow, I don't know what to say after a game like that.
Well, somebody's got to lose, and you hate to see either team lose in this situation. Great effort.
6 seconds left. And the way this one's...
We've seen a lot of wacky things. But,
I wasn't even think they would try the field goal, and I don't know why.
No.
I just thought they're going to line up and...
Well, conservative, on the road. You don't want to go for the win, but since you're on the road, kick the field goal, because it was a, gimme field goal. But, unfortunately, the kid didn't nail it. Still got to give a lot of credit to both of the grittiness out of both of these football teams.
It was a fight to the end.
Well done.
Spanish Fort had to reinsert themselves in this game.
Sure.
I mean, they kind of
put their head out of it probably and were like, we got this.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's got to get a snap and take a knee for Samson.
It's your ball game.
And there it is. 52 to 49 in what is surely an instant classic and the game of the night in the state of Alabama. What? I'm almost speechless.
They're too tired to be mad at each other at this point.
Great class, though, by both teams. And, you know, somebody has to lose the game, and unfortunately, Blount's on the short side. But I still give credit to both teams just playing to the final second.
Look what both teams gave us tonight.
Absolutely.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Spanish Fort, Blount High School. And just one of the most enjoyable games you could ever watch.
Unpredictable.
Would have liked to see a little bit more defense, but each team's earned their points. They did earn their points. Spanish Fort packed theirs in early. And
then they packed it in early for a while.
Yeah, and then they woke back up when they needed to.
They did.
Because you've been saying it all night.
Yeah.
This group expects to win. It's the culture. It's what they're about. And they're about championships, not just winning battles.
Yeah.
They're used to winning the war. Games.
101 points here tonight. And
they came in the second half, which is great.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just
for one group.
The way, so you say, all right, wow. How about the way Blount comes back in battles, but then Lev Howley talked about it in the pregame show. He talked about it at midfield with you and I before the game, Dan Brennan, and said, those kids over there on that side, they're going to find a way to make a big play when it really counts. Yeah. Can we match them? Yeah. That's what we need to find out about our team tonight.
And they matched with that final drive, getting down to the 10-yard line with 38 seconds to go and deciding to try the run. No timeouts. You give a shot with the run, and that kind of changed everything. Then you had what turned out to be a spike. That wasn't a spike. That really was a fumble.
Yeah, that was a fumble. That was clearly an error in blowing that whistle.
They got the good graces on that play right there.
All right, I think Tara has.
I think the referees on that play, they just were already expecting he's going to spike the ball.
All right, let's go to Tara. She's got Ben Blackman. I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
The reason we love sports is the unpredictability. Blount made a huge run, taking a lead late in the fourth quarter. How are you able to come together as a team and get this crucial region win?
Well, our kids are resilient, and I'm very, very proud of our kids. I mean, they keep battling. It doesn't matter the challenge. And, you know, we got a little complacency coming out, and a lot of that's credit to Blount because Coach Lev went in there at halftime and got his kids to play hard, and we knew, you know, they had big play potential, and they'd already hit us on 2 big plays early in the game, and we knew it was going to come to a fourth quarter game that the game wasn't over. And, you know, the momentum shifted and all that, and I'm just proud of our kids for never giving up and just keeping the fight, and it was a huge win for us.
And anytime it's a high-scoring game, there's added pressure on the shoulders of your quarterback. Talk about the decision-making from Samsel tonight.
I think he was outstanding. You know, I think he was outstanding. He delivered the ball, made great throws, you know, didn't turn it over. That's what we ask. He's a leader, you know, and one of our captains, and I'm just, you know, so proud of him and what he's doing.
Congratulations, Coach. And we're going over to Jack. Jack. Last year, turnovers were the difference in this Blount Spanish Fort game. What did you see offensively that allowed you to keep control of the ball?
I think we just had a good game plan, and we went out and executed the first half. Second half, we came out slow. I mean, we picked it up and had a game-winning drive there at the end, but I'm just proud of my O-line and all my receivers and my running backs. They've just been working hard. I mean, we just had to execute.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. And just what a great game. I mean, it was just, but you said it best. Never if we had a blowout and a 3-point game thriller come down to the final play, both within the same game.
It was the same game.
Yeah.
And the first game was one of those. It's tough on people doing games on TV because what do you say? Sure. You know, and it's high school kids.
Right.
And it was so one-sided. And it was like, well, what do you say? Well, you don't sound like you're picking on somebody. Well, Blount cleared all that up in the second half.
Sure.
Then we had a lot to say, and what we could say is both teams fought to the very end.
And that's what I say. Don't say much. They illustrated it on the field.
They did.
And we just kind of watched the painting come together.
So we have the Spanish Fort Toros now 5-0 in the region, 5-1 overall. And I'm trying to remember all the great plays in this game. Connor Hegan with a great game. Jeremiah Hickson had a punt return, a touchdown in the first half. Trajan Pugh, 200 yards rushing. I mean, just a pick who you'd like.
I mean, and
Jamarcus Poe Malden, Jacoby Davis.
You're leaving Jamarcus Poe Malden out of the party there is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
you know, and one thing, you talk about players of the games. I got to really give my hat to Coach Holly. I mean, to get that group where they came from to what we saw in the second half. the Blount community out there, they got to be proud of that young man, know that they've got the right guy at the controls, because that was a monumental effort to come out and get them back to play like they did.
Incredible game. What these kids gave us tonight.
Oh,
you know,
a treat.
Yes.
Yeah. So go to utv44.com and log on to see who you'd like to vote for in the if there's write-in votes. Maybe you want to somebody else. Maybe you want to write in. Maybe we'll accept those this week. But wow, what a job! What a job by our crew. They have been here a long time. Final score 52-49. Spanish Fort 5-0 in the region, 5-1 overall. Blount falls down now to 4-3 on the year and 3-2 in the region.
Breakfast on me, guys. Let's go.
So Tara Reeves in the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck. All of our great crew, Jim Cox, Stan Brennan up here in the booth saying good night, where we were treated to one a heck of a high school football team by two different teams here tonight in Spanish Fort. The Toros hang on to get the win by 3.